All right, good evening and welcome to another late edition of the Raw Feed. Tonight's show is broadcasting live to millions worldwide on YouTube, Rumble, and X, and what you're about to witness isn't just news, it is history in the making. So, as you're watching this right now, text this stream link to 3 trusted friends. Tell them to tune in immediately, because the algorithm won't show them what we are about to reveal. 9 days ago, America spoke loud and clear, delivering Donald Trump a landslide victory over Kamala Harris. But that was just the beginning. Tonight, we're bringing you stories the mainstream media won't touch, stories that expose exactly why they are terrified of losing control. In Fox Valley, Illinois, a conservative uprising is demolishing the radical left's cancel culture machine. We have exclusive details about a Democrat alderwoman's secret Facebook group that tried to destroy patriot-owned businesses. But wait until you see how it backfired. The resistance is real, and it is winning. And speaking of winning, the mainstream media, the empire there, is imploding. MSNBC up for sale. AOC ditching her pronouns. The View desperately seeking pro-Trump voices? We've got the inside story of their total collapse. And just when you thought it couldn't get any more explosive, we're taking you inside Donald Trump's cabinet picks that are sending shockwaves through the swamp. Matt Gaetz for Attorney General, Elon Musk leading government efficiency, RFK Jr. at Health and Human Services. The deep state is in full panic mode, and we will tell you why. But that is not all. The battle for Infowars has taken a dramatic turn. Just when The Onion thought they had succeeded in their hostile takeover, a judge steps in. Alex Jones is fighting back, and we have the exclusive details you won't hear anywhere else. And throughout tonight's show, we'll be featuring your voice. Our live chat is exploding right now, and we'll be reading your super chats and your Rumble rants between segments. Your comments will be featured on screen for the world to see. Remember, super chats get priority. They're the best way to make your voice heard. But let's be honest, this kind of independent journalism isn't cheap, and the powers that be would love nothing more than to shut us down. That's why we need your support. The donation links are in the description below. Every dollar helps us keep bringing you the truth they don't want you to hear. And speaking of support, we've got something special for our loyal viewers. Our brand new merch shop is now live at shop.nextnewsnetwork.com. You'll find it linked in the description. Exclusive, limited edition Next News swag available right now. Yes, become one of the MAGA Avengers and show the world where you get your real news. Remember to follow us on Rumble and X, because when they try to censor us, and they will, you'll know exactly where to find us. Tonight's show is going to take you from the front lines of Fox Valley, the uprising there, to the corridors of power, where Trump's dream team is forming. From the mainstream media's total collapse to the battle for Infowars, that's far from over. Get ready, America. The Raw Feed starts now. Let's welcome you to the show. Who's in the house tonight? Let's see who is here. Make sure you sound off with your city, your state, your country, wherever you're tuning in from, and the device that you are using, smartphones, television, tablet, laptop, whatever it is. Let us know. And we've got RB is here. We got Melissa K. Casey Freeman from Jones County is here. We've got Los Angeles. We've got Silvio Nunez from Costa Rica. Holy cow. Jeremy's here. What's up? The Onion was the lowest bidder. Yeah. We got, man, holy cow. I'm trying to keep up with everyone here. Southwest Missouri. Jesse's here. Pittsburgh on a phone. Patricia Smith is here. SD on a laptop. And we've got our first super chat of the night. Hello. Hello, The Price is Right review. I think that Matt Gaetz will be the biggest fight for the left. Why? The Second Amendment. Him wanting to abolish the ATF. The swamp's biggest leash is the Second Amendment. Oh, yes, it is. Okay, I saw a bunch of people from Illinois dropping in. Southwest Missouri, Rocky Mount, Virginia, Oklahoma. Daryl's here. Ohio with Poobie. Gen X is here. Rockville, Missouri, or is that Mississippi? MS? Missouri? Mississippi? We got Tomorrow Nelson, from Illinois. What's up, Illinois? Who else we got here? Checking in. Spokane, Washington, Skeegee. South Central PA, we got Carl. Aloha from Hawaii, says Kauai Onalani. Kauai. Albuquerque, New Mexico is here. Who's that? Albuquerque? Where's Albuquerque? Rose Ramirez. Hi, Rose. How are you? We got Karen Finley on her phone in Mill Creek, Washington. Open your mouth when you talk, Franchi. Missouri in the house. We got Susan. We got Central Ohio. Jay is here. Mr. RC51. What's up, man? How are you doing? Always, man. This again. Every time I see his name, I'm like, it's like every single he's always like the first commenter. Always. It's amazing. I don't know how he does it. He must be on the white list for notifications. Okay, who else is here? Spokane, Washington. We got the Gardener, Cactus Flower in Apache Junction, Arizona. Albert in Fiddletown, California. Australia. I saw someone from Australia here. Wichita, Toledo, Fairbanks, Alaska. Electric Life is in the house. The Gardening Warrior is saying hello to Washingtonians. We got Wenchity, Washington. Turboit is here. Will DeBarber TV is here from Toledo. Will DeBarber, what's up, man? We got Resines in the Four Corners. America's Tribune from Manchester, New Hampshire. Oh, I love New Hampshire. We got Nora in L.A. We got Russell in Kentucky on his phone. We got Nebraska, Craig. Jeremy's here. You have a link to Alex Jones? Not right now, because it's time to watch the Raw feed, Jeremy. We got Tree Fox Incorporated, Puerto Rico. What's up, man? Puerto Rico. We got Alameda, California. We got Ozana, Netherlands here. Netherlands. Oh, wow. New Jersey in the house. Toronto's in the house. Lubbock, Texas in the house. What's up, Kevin? We got Mike Dillon. TJ's here. Leo in New York City. Martha in Texas. Joe in Kansas City. Australia. Helmut is here. Wow. Kansas. It's so cool to see all you guys. It is really cool. Rocky Mountain, Virginia. My goodness. Ridge, New York. Michael. So freaking cool. Albany, Oregon. Don Schaefer in California. And another super chat. I just saw it come in. Look at that. Another $2 for the gas tank of the Raw feed. Let's see where that came through. We got to show it because that's what we do here. Here it is. It's from Joe Biden. I want to say Brandon. He named Manchin as Secretary of Interior. Did that really just happen? Come on. Really? I didn't see that today. That must have just happened. Manchin? Wow. That's unexpected. We'll have to look into that a little bit deeper. Okay. We got a lot of news to get into. Elishiva, I've been watching your show on YouTube for 4 years. Wow. Thanks for hanging out. Thanks for being here. So many people. Okay. I do have to get into the show. It's late, and we're just getting started. We got to get started here. Gary should have at least 1,000 likes by now with all these people watching. He's got mine. Thank you, Casey. Yeah, why aren't you guys hitting the like button? Hit it. Hit it, man. Okay. Brian, let us begin. So what happens when the radical left tries to destroy conservative businesses in small-town America? Well, they get absolutely demolished by a patriot uprising. Tonight, we bring an explosive story from Fox Valley, Illinois, where a Democrat alderwoman's secret Facebook group tried to blacklist pro-Trump businesses. But these cancel culture commissars didn't expect what happened next. Patriots nationwide turned their hit list into a buy list, transforming their attempted takedown into the biggest conservative commercial uprising we've ever seen. Local business owners are fighting back. Ethics complaints are now flying, and the left's playbook completely exposed. And speaking of surveillance and protection, patriots, here's something crucial. While the radical left is making secret lists to target conservatives, you need to protect yourself with hard evidence. That's where CarVision X comes in. This military-grade dash cam captures everything, perfect for documenting harassment, fake accusations, or even cancel mob targeting. Thought I had it here somewhere. Oh, it's too far for me to reach. But it does have 4K Ultra HD night vision, 24/7 recording. It's your silent guardian against false claims and setup attempts. Visit carvisionx.com now for free shipping and join thousands of patriots protecting themselves from the radical left schemes. Okay, so we've got a really good update for you. Now, if you don't know, just 3 days ago, we posted this thread, and it went super nova. The radical left is at it again. Fox Valley, Illinois, a group of cancel culture elitists led by politicians targeting conservative businesses to crush freedom and silence dissent. This is a war for our values, so share this thread. And it started with this, actually. Awake, Illinois. Fox Valley communists created a list of retailers they plan to boycott. They think that they can struggle pro-American businesses in the area. Would be a shame if you shared it and told your friends to support these businesses. Now, it went viral. Slightly offensive, Elijah Schaefer picked up the story, and it was, I'm like, holy cow, Elijah's picking it up? This is awesome. Elijah's got a new website, a new blog you need to check out. If you don't know Elijah, you need to. Slightly offensive. We'll dig a little bit deeper into his story here. Political abuse. Conservative business in Illinois face aggressive boycotts sparking community outcry. In the wake of recent boycotts targeting conservative-leaning businesses in Illinois, residents and community leaders are rallying to support the establishments. Cancel culture in Fox Valley. Look at that graphic. The Next News Network, along with Awake Illinois, broke the story of a cancel culture campaign aimed at driving conservative-owned businesses to financial ruin, spotlighting the growing struggle to maintain community values amid mounting political tensions. The issue has ignited a call to action from both businesses and supporters in the Fox Valley area, a region now facing increased division and economic threats. So here's the initial post that we just presented. Fox Valley communists created a list of retailers they plan to boycott. And you can see all the different businesses. Now, among the businesses on the receiving end of this coordinated boycott are Village Squire, South Elgin, Whiskey Bend in St. Charles, Movable Feast. These local mainstays have historically served as communal gathering spots, contributing to the fabric of Fox Valley's social landscape. However, due to their owners' conservative stances, these businesses have now become targets of boycott efforts aimed at stifling conservative voices and promoting political conformity. Elijah linked to our initial thread here. We thank him for that. And I want to make a point here because, this is a very extensive article. You need to read about it. Go to the slightlyoffensive.com website and dig in deep. But I'm going to give you a taste of what we're up against. In the midst of this research and the follow-up, I came across a video that really highlights the mindset of these people. Okay? Before I show it to you, I want you to take note of this charity because this charity was specifically targeted. It's a 501c3. It's called Big Hearts of Fox Valley. You know what they do? They provide coats for children in the wintertime. They provide Christmas gifts for families that couldn't otherwise afford them. And this organization, this charity, was on the hit list to boycott. That just shows you the sickness that we are up against. These people would rather watch children suffer than let them wear a MAGA hat or support a political candidate. This is America, and we have the freedom to choose who we want to support. But for them to go ahead and try to cancel a children's charity, that shows you just how sick these people are. So I want you guys to go and make a donation to 501c3 charity, Big Hearts of Fox Valley. Okay? The website is right there on the screen. You can see it. bigheartsfv.org. bigheartsfv.org. Very simple. Now, I was telling you about this video I came across. I got a lot of content here. This is one of the administrators of the group that permitted the post. Her name is Martha Paschke. And according to her LinkedIn page, she's an experienced program manager, educator, and community organizer looking to impact policy with the aim to improve systems and help all people thrive. Unless you're wearing a MAGA hat. Unless you vote for Donald Trump. You're not in her little party. Oh, and one of the radio shows, it was actually the Morning Answer, AM 560. They picked up the story. WLS picked up the story. And we posted it in our extensive thread. So if you want to listen to some of those radio hits, I encourage you to do so. But in one of those radio hits, a caller called in and said that this woman terrorized her family during COVID. I mean, it was a horrible story. I'm sure so many of you were terrorized during COVID. But Brian, let's go vertical with this. And this is what we're up against. This is the mindset. This is the woke mind virus that still permeates. And it's just an example of the people who are trying to cancel conservatives. Now, I'm going to warn you, there is some language here that this woman uses. So if you're sensitive to language, well, you know what to do. Listen.
Hate. I found out today that somebody that I work with is a conservative, and he's somebody who's really intelligent, and he's somebody who works in climate tech as a super smart guy, somebody I would never have thought was conservative, and apparently he is. And it's surprising, and it's disgusting. But what's most surprising to me is the level of sudden hatred that I have for him. Sudden hatred for this man who I used to respect suddenly just went boop, and I fucking hate him now. It's not about politics, it's about morals. And if you are not a person of morals and you are educated enough to fucking know better, I think I hate you. I know we still have to get through life with these people. Like, at the end of the day, I still work with this man, but I'm not gonna hate him. I'm sorry, I'm gonna fucking hate him now, and that's just how it is. And tolerant, take a hike, because when it comes down to morals and ethics and giving a fuck about other human beings, if you're smart enough to know better, you're educated enough to know better, you are exposed enough to other people in the world to fucking know better, and you're still okay with electing evil, I'm not okay with you. I found out today that somebody that I work with is a conservative, and
yeah, I found out that someone I work with is a conservative, and now I hate them. That's the mindset of the people who are behind this cancel culture, trying to cancel these organizations. Brian, go horizontal now. Here's one of the individuals, a daughter of one of the owners of these businesses. And they had this to say: thank you for exposing these horrible people. Unbeknownst to me, these awful women, unbeknownst to these awful women, one of the owners, my mom, is a licensed lawyer in the state of Illinois. She'll be doing everything she can to not only protect her business, but all of these businesses on the list. Sad to see what has happened to my beloved hometown. I hope more and more people see this post and share it so it goes viral. Shame those who thought it was okay to target businesses that not only support our president, but also America. Another one. All the businesses she was trying to cancel are a huge part of the Tri-City economy, and many of those owners are active and engaged in bettering the area. She doesn't even realize she's shooting the Tri-Cities in the foot, and she is not fit to serve. Now we're learning that an ethics complaint has been filed against Martha Paschke because she's an elected official. Awake Illinois posted this to their page, and people are, I mean, why would an elected official knowingly sabotage her own community? It's disgusting. And of course, they made a post on their Facebook page after they'd locked it down, and they're like, oh, well, we were just admins and we didn't know anything about it, and it was only up for a little bit. Oh my goodness. Well, you run a Facebook page, and it is dedicated to the woke mind virus. It is anti-Trump, it is anti-American, and it was there. And everybody saw it, and now you're exposed. There's the cat's out of the bag. You can't escape this. You just can't escape it, Martha. Here we have Awake Illinois. This is the list of organizations and businesses that cannot be canceled. So many great groups here. You've got 38 Motor Cars, Alexander's Cafe, Alley 64, Akata Theater, Arcedium Coffee, Old Republic Food and Bar, Bettag Group. I mean, I know these people. Larry Bettag, Big Hearts of Fox Valley, Minor Mobley. I mean, he runs that organization. Colonial Cafe, Copper Fox, Eddie Goodell's, Excel Automotive, run by Minor. Fox Valley Buick, Foxfire, Gun Barrel Coffee, Healer Hyde, Heinz Brothers, Luau Coffee, Movable Feast, Napleton Chevrolet, Peerless Fence, Prestige Imports, Rookies Bar and Grill, Scooby's Food, Sunny Acres Farm, Syrup, Breakfast Joint, The Office, Village Squire, and Whiskey Bend. All part of the community. And if you are out tomorrow in the area, they are doing a Rebel Diners are going to be mobilizing tomorrow at Foxfire Geneva, 11:30 a.m. to 1:30 p.m. The resistance gathers. A table for 25 is locked in, but all are welcome. Email tom@freedomsquare.com to join the fight against the cancel mob. Let's pack the house and send a message. I have already RSVP'd, so I will be there if you want to come hang out. So we're learning now the commies, yes, they're cowards. Their Facebook group is hidden, and they're very cranky. We showed everyone how hate has a home in their hearts. Remember those signs? Hate has no home here, right? They sit there in their high horse and their nose up in the air. Hate has no home here. Well, it does in their hearts when they go after children's charities. And the rapid response is out. But this is the admin notice that they pasted on their page. After discussion amongst the admin group, we have decided that the post sharing political affiliations of businesses that are not aligned with our political views was more divisive than beneficial to the greater community, and the post was removed. Little late for that, Paula. Oh, yeah, she's a real winner. She's seen a picture on her face. It says no hate like a tattoo. It's pretty disgusting. But this thing has gone totally viral. Dan Proft, Amy Jacobson on The Morning Answered. They featured Larry Bettag of the Bettag Group, who was another target of the mob, slamming Alderwoman Paschke's claims and exposed the woke attacks on local business. Let's listen.
560, The Answer.
There's more room if people want to come on.
So at least we're trying Elgin and Batavia, so Elburn, Elgin, all over the place. Businesses they've identified as being supportive of the Republican Party, supportive of Trump, supportive of local candidates who are affiliated with the Republican Party or are also supportive of Trump, you know, the guilt by association game. And Martha Paschke, who's becoming the face of this, and I think deservedly so, at least we're trying to make her the face of it. She's apparently the person who put together literally a spreadsheet with an enemies list and the crimes against humanity these businesses have committed. We talked to Casey Gulbro yesterday, who owns Foxfire and the Copper Fox in Geneva. I guess Foxfire is one of the places that our friend Tom Sadek has organized a resurgence of the Rebel Diners to go patronize tomorrow, right?
Yes.
I saw he's texting me. They've got a reservation for 25 at Foxfire tomorrow.
Yeah, so if people want to come out, just go 25, and there's more room if people want to come on over. So,
if you haven't checked this Next News Network thread out, do so. Days ago, and it's got the sheet is just fascinating and disturbing, fascinating and disturbing way. You know, the description wherever. For example, Coffee in Elbert, staging spot for Kane GOP before canvassing.
Sorry, something's wrong here.
We're talking about there's like supply depots of an enemy of the state. their crime from the spreadsheet is to go patronize tomorrow, right?
Yes.
I saw he's texting me. They've got a reservation for 25 at Foxfire tomorrow.
Yeah, so if people want to come out, just go 25, and there's more room if people want to come on over. So,
if you haven't checked this Next News Network thread out, do so. I retweeted it a couple days ago, and it's got the spreadsheet because the spreadsheet is just fascinating and disturbing, and fascinating in a disturbing way. The descriptions of the offenses committed that demand boycotting and wherever else these people want to take it, I don't know. For example, Luau Coffee in Elburn, anti-mask, notorious staging spot for Kane GOP before canvassing. And they're talking about this like supply depots of an enemy of the state that need to be eliminated. Well, we've got another business that we're going to speak with, business owner, Larry Bettag, and their crime from the spreadsheet. They own the Bettag Group in St. Charles. Owners Larry and Michelle Bettag, large GOP donors, behind the Campton Warriors, ran Kerry Lake fundraiser at their house.
Dun, dun, dun.
All right, well, let's talk to this ne'er-do-well, according to the powers that be in the western suburbs.
So Larry's crime was hosting Kerry Lake at his house for a fundraiser. So they set out to cancel him.
Larry Bettag, VP of National Production at the Bettag Group in St. Charles. Larry, thanks for joining us. Appreciate it.
I'm humbled to be with a couple of rock stars like you guys. Thanks for having me on.
Yeah,
easy there,
you're welcome. Pleasure. But would you like to plead for mercy for the crimes that you have committed in the Western Burbs?
Yeah, I was going to go to confession earlier this week, but maybe I can air my grievances here too.
Yes, where it's cathartic. Yes.
Very cathartic.
What's your reaction to what's this targeting that's being done, and again that spreadsheet is just the key. That's really next level stuff with these details about your activities and why you need to be boycotted, or your business needs to be boycotted and such.
Well, they don't have everything right, that's for sure. They got 2 out of the 3 things right, but that's fine.
Yeah.
I think if they're going to put stuff out there, they might want to be accurate. I think that blanketly to do that's probably not appropriate. But you know what I was thinking when knowing that I was going to be on, have the ability to be on here with you guys, is that she's washed her hands of it and said that I'm the Facebook administrator of this group. Well, I'm an administrator of about 7 groups myself, none of which are political. But as an administrator, you can turn on commenting, you can approve people, you can approve, or you can go ahead and block. And
you could turn on you can moderate all posts. Like there are groups that I'm a part of, and if you try to post, it says your post is under review by the moderators. But apparently their Facebook group was wide open. So all this hate was just spilling into that group. And that's when the list was published to boycott these Trump supporters and destroy their businesses. And most importantly, trying to destroy a charity, a children's charity.
With the number of groups where every single comment gets approved. So for her to go ahead and will try to wash her hands of it is probably very immature. She can't have a group and say that she's not responsible for that. Yeah. So the complicity goes to her.
And I mean, is she taking ownership of putting together a spreadsheet, or whose handiwork was that? She doesn't want to talk about it.
We don't know. We don't know. But the thing is, it's a group that she's the administrator of. And I keep thinking that. Go ahead.
No, and I mean, and like, how prominent is she, and is this group, and how many people like her are being public about their desire to see your business and others boycotted and so forth?
I've never heard of her until now. Now she's prominent. She's got the fame and fortune that she wants. Yeah. I think there's groups that are out here that are incredibly vocal. In prepping to come in here, I did a little research on her on Facebook, and she said she spent 20 years traveling the world as a missionary, I find it, or a missionary's daughter, I find it hard to believe that this woman who has those Christ-based love, and her post yesterday was about kindness, it would go ahead and vilify people who have really, I've spent 30 years, I grew up here, and I publicly, I don't do anything to the left or the right. I love them all. I really do. My private matters and the way I vote and what I believe are my matters. But to go ahead and say, I'm going to go ahead and vilify people who don't believe the same things that I do, I think it comes down to one or two different things. Either, I hate saying it this way, but she's incredibly stupid, or she is has a very, very low emotional intelligence. Because I think about this. She lost, obviously, in her election results, and so she allows this to be permitted on her site. And as a result of her emotional intelligence or her stupidity, she, as an employee of a city, in the face of a city that wants to attract and develop Geneva into something of prominence, has done a lot of things now to hurt a lot of people that have invested years, decades into their community. That's a problem. Well, I don't understand why Geneva would allow that. And then I guess she's an employee of Aurora.
City of Aurora.
Well,
yeah.
Mm-hmm.
We've got calls into Richard Irvin to see for a comment on her. And by the way, she can be both stupid and have low emotional intelligence.
A little bit
of both. So you can see it is now getting some serious traction. Martha Paschke, here she is. That is the face of the Facebook group that tried to cancel all these businesses. But it kept going further. The Gateway Pundit also picked up the story. So it wasn't just slightly offensive. It wasn't just Next News Network. Gateway Pundit picked it up, and they ran with the story thanks to Terry Newsom. And he's a local podcaster. His show is called Behind Enemy Lines, and he's out there. He even got contacted by Shaw Local, which is a local paper, because of this post. They didn't like the fact that he gave Martha a nice mustache there and called it what it is, a hit list. But WLS picked up the story as well. This is great, but here, let's take a look at the Gateway Pundit piece real quick. So Gateway Pundit runs the story, Illinois politician exposed by grassroots for administrating Facebook page targeting conservative businesses. 133 comments. Paul Drabick is the author. And he starts by saying, as we enter the dawn of a new political era, it's important to highlight the radicalism of the left. There's no hyperbole in acknowledging the parallels to communist regimes of the 20th century. From Stalin's Great Purge to Mao's lists for counter-revolutionaries, millions of people would end up slaughtered for the crimes of wrongthink. Subsequently, Americans should pay attention when local politicians make lists of their political enemies. An alderwoman in Geneva, Illinois, was found to have been an administrator for an activist group targeting conservative businesses. Unsurprisingly, the alderwoman is also a government employee. Shannon Adcock of Awake, Illinois, highlights the details in an X post. The title of the Google Doc doesn't hide the ball. Fox Valley and Western suburban businesses with terrible politics. Gateway Pundit shining a very important light on this story. And then we have this. This is when they went. She went on WLS. I have the post here. Shannon Adcock was on with WLS. Where's that? It's supposed to be here. Hello. Just a second. I'll just have to go to the thread itself because I posted it in the thread. I've been updating this thread repeatedly. Here it is. This is the WLS. This is a big radio station locally.
WLS AM 890. Yesterday at about this time, I was being inundated with text messages from WLSAM 890 listeners saying, Ray, you got to take a look at this. And on this list that was texted to us was a group of basically Fox Valley businesses that were in the crosshairs, if you will, of a activist group that doesn't like conservatives. So Awake Illinois is a Facebook page, and they said, hey, here is what's going on, and here is who are the administrators on this page. One of the administrators on the page, now this doesn't mean she wrote the list, right? And I just want to be clear about this, that we have at WLS reached out to Martha Paschke, and we have reached out to Mayor Kevin Burns to get their take on this. So far, I haven't heard back, which is unusual, because usually Mayor Kevin Burns, who has a lot of fun with me from time to time with the Batavia-Geneva football rivalry, will hit me right back. But me thinks that some people might be in a little bit of hot water out in Geneva over this. So without further ado, we bring in Shannon Adcock from Awake, Illinois. Hi, Shannon.
Good morning, Ray. How are you?
So, Shannon, tell me about this list, how you found it, and why these people are on it.
Well, we're so proud to be the largest grassroots organization here in the state of Illinois, Awake Illinois. We are a nonprofit, and we have really great reach on social media and within our communities. So what people did was they saw this post in this closed Facebook group, and they sent it to us, and we were proud to shed light on it. You know, what's interesting, Ray, is that post-election now, so many residents are ready to just unify in their communities and see civility brought back. So the people who are upset to see this, they're not just your hardcore typical conservatives or, you know, quote MAGA people or even diehard politicos. These are people who want to see their area thrive. In Geneva, where this Martha Paschke is an alderwoman, she is basically endorsing the censorship and the blacklisting of these businesses. And this community is nothing without its small businesses. The entire Fox Valley area is small businesses and family-owned restaurants. That's what makes it special. So we exposed this, and people are very upset about it, and they want to see her held to account as an elected official that is basically looking to harm her own community.
What I don't understand is this, I have a very close high school personal friend, just to be clearing up front, that owns the Copper Fox and owns Foxfire in Geneva. And he put on his social media page how upset he was to wake up and hear that he was being doxxed by somebody that is a member of his own community, a community where he's very involved. I mean, this is the way it works with small businesses. They provide dinners for the local football team, for the Geneva Vikings. They put a lot of money back into the community. This is aside from the tax base that they contribute to. And to find out in your town that you're trying to do all of this stuff and still trying to make a comeback from the draconian lockdowns we had during COVID, and it is a real struggle. If people don't know that or feel that, it really is hard for these businesses to wake up and find out that somebody that's been elected in your town is part of a group that's putting out a list like this was very disheartening to him.
100%. But, you know, it's backfiring bigly. Cancel culture is being canceled in real time. Look at what happened with Movable Feast when we all shared that. They're having a record week in patronage. And so let's look at this list real quickly. I know you're going to share it. We've shared it on our social media. The title of this spreadsheet is Fox Valley West Suburban Businesses with Terrible Politics Based on Observations of Overt Activity by the Business or Owner. Like, this is Stasi stuff. These people would have been wearing brown shirts in the 40s. Don't tell me they wouldn't have been. So let's look at, 38 motor cars is one business. They had a Let's Go Brandon on the LED screen. Somebody tell Democrats that they got rid of Brandon. They got rid of Biden on their own. We didn't.
Right.
Look at Arcata, St. Charles. Onesti, the owner, outspoken to keep Christopher Columbus statue via JCCIA. So that's an Italian-American nonpartisan group.
And he's just he's an Italian American guy that does his
Italian American. Yes,
he does so much good in the neighborhood. You know, you can have differing views. You can vote for whoever you want. But I'm here to tell you that what's going on and what we're talking about right now, this stuff is on the deathbed. And you bringing light to this is going to. I mean, I know it's already causing so much panic out there amongst the people that put this together. I asked you yesterday. I said, where do I find this Facebook page? And it's hidden. I can't find it. Now, is that something that just happened, post us talking about it, or how's that work? Okay.
Yes, they're panicking now because, we've outed them for being the little communists that they are. And communists are cowards. That's the good news. We the people have more power than we have harnessed. And when we shed light by simply sharing what they themselves have published, they start to get scared. They don't stand there and own their principles anymore because, oops, they realize they're on the wrong side of the barricade. And so what's fascinating is that Martha Paschke has now had an ethics complaint filed against her. Attorney Linda Singeri, put this ethics complaint to the mayor of Geneva and the city clerk. And can I just read a couple lines that she put in this beautiful, eloquent letter? This is how we, the people, advocate. We do not go around yelling at people that they're Nazis. We do not drive down their street and harass them. She filed a very poised ethics complaint. So she says, Alderperson Martha Paschke's administration and moderation of a local business blacklist based upon political opposition echoes the dark days of McCarthyism. And she's right. She goes on to say, such actions are not only ethically dubious, but also detrimental to the fabric of the community as they deter open discourse and democratic participation. These oppressive tactics do not ensure a fair and free environment for all citizens. When an elected official supports a blacklist that targets political opponents, their ability to make fair and impartial decisions in areas like zoning, licensing, and other regulatory matters becomes severely compromised and demonstrates a conflict of interest, bias, a perception of favoritism, a potential for retaliation, and leads to legally questionable decision-making. This is what has the citizens of Geneva very, very upset. So now people are looking to take back their local governments from woke progressivism, and we are here for it. We celebrate it, and people need to stay active and ride this momentum that is absolutely going to cancel culture.
How much have these folks come after you since you brought this all to light? I have to imagine that you've been targeted on the social media as well.
Oh, no, I was targeted. I'm OG. I was targeted in 2020 when I was rallying to reopen schools, became a school board candidate, and was called a Nazi for being against race hustling in the classroom. And I sued Pritzker. I was one of the parents to sue Pritzker to get the masks off of our kids when he violated our due process rights. So I am a struggle session champion here in Naperville. They've tried to cancel me. They've tried to come after my husband's work. They've tried to come after all of us who are simply speaking truth. And look, America spoke. America is done with this division. Trump has been elected. Culture is downstream of politics. People are done with the self-censorship that they have tried to foist upon us simply for speaking for capitalism, for our area businesses, for our families, and for our freedom. So there's a very positive outlook right now. And look, these businesses are going to boom. This is backfiring bigly. You come after our communities, you come after our families and our businesses. Oh, yeah, we're stepping up big time.
Nick,
courage.
I've said it a million times, and I'll say it again. Do not piss off a suburban mom. when it comes to her kids, when it comes to what she stands for, and you're right, cancel culture is done. I like what you stand for. You have a place here on this radio station when you need. And I also want to just add, and again, I just want to be very clear. Here on this radio station, where Nick and I stand on a lot of issues, but we're also going to be very fair. And if Mayor Burns wants to call, he's got my cell number. I've been texting him. And if Martha Paschke wants, we'll give her the platform to defend. As I said earlier, it doesn't mean she put this list together, but she is an admin on this page. But she's also the director of innovation and strategy, as far as I know, for the city of Aurora. And that is problematic. So I think you got to. Here, you can have a freedom of speech, right? That's not what this is about. And a lot of people are saying, Shannon, that you're trying to stifle somebody's free speech. No, that's not what this is about. What we're trying to understand and do here is that you have people that are Democrats and Republicans that have businesses. And I don't want to see a Democrat or a Republican fail at something they're putting their backbone in. And as far as this list, you came after some people that are friends of mine. I've lived in that area all my life. And they work so hard that they don't deserve this. We have to leave it there, Shannon.
They don't deserve it at all. But it's going totally viral. Shaw Local, as I stated, reports that the Geneva alderwoman Martha Paschke is getting supposed hate calls from Michigan and Wisconsin. They're not stopping, she says, and now she's facing an ethics complaint over her role in the pro-Trump business hit list. The firestorm is not dying, so keep it up. And as we just told you, Larry Bettag of the Bettag Group Also appeared on AM 560, The Answer. And then tomorrow, I will be there in Foxfire, Geneva, between 11:30 and 1:30. So send an email to tom@freedomsquare.com. Not what you see on the screen. That's a typo. It's freedomsquare.com to join the fight. And I'll be there, and I'm happy to meet you guys, shake your hands. But most importantly, please make a donation to Big Hearts of Fox Valley. They are one of the people on the list, one of the groups on the list that was targeted, and they support children at Christmas time and families that can't afford coats. So it's going viral. The people are pushing back. We are tired of it. And again, this is part of the ethics complaint. Exhibit B. These are all the administrators and moderators of that Facebook group. Fox Valley Activists, the group located in Illinois. Okay? So it's going viral. People are fighting back, and we are here for it, and we are supporting all these local businesses, and they can't hide. They can't hide at all. So make sure you push back against cancel culture. If you want to know more, go to my X account, locate the thread, and take action, and I'll see you tomorrow. So the Fox Valley Resistance, it shows us what happens when patriots unite against cancel culture. These business owners didn't just survive the left's attack, they are thriving. The secret Facebook group has gone dark. Ethics complaints are piling up, and the Democrat alderwoman behind the scheme is now facing calls for resignation. This is how we win, America. We turn their hit lists into support lists, their boycotts into boycotts. And speaking of support, don't forget to check out our exclusive Next News merch at shop.nextnewsnetwork.com. Show the world you stand with independent media and these brave business owners. But here's the question we need you to answer in the comments. If the radical left tried to cancel your business, would you stand and fight like these Fox Valley patriots, or would you stay quiet to avoid the mob? Let us know in the comments below. All right. So some good news for a change. Excited to have that there. Sorry about that little connection issue. Brian, if we can get that cleaned up in post, I'd appreciate that. I did see some super chats come in. Always exciting when I see that. Quite a few, actually. Let's see. We have F. Joe Biden says, sorry, it was Doug Burgum, referencing Manchin as the Secretary of Interior. Thank you for that. Bob Kramens dropping a 2-spot. Filled that Trump cup up with coffee on me. All right, appreciate that. Appreciate that, Bob. Who else we got here? Dr. Rick dropping a 20. What's up? I just had to comment. I had just commented. It's awesome to see the growth of your channel. That is the result of your courage in reporting the truth. God bless you for the true journalism you're doing. Thank you, Dr. Rick, 1776. And then Fishman, he had this to say, I wonder if we are going to see tons of men unalived from wives and girlfriends in the near future. I don't know what that's supposed to mean, Fishman, but it's kind of scary. Thank you for the $5. Pothead Candy, what's up, man? And proof, Gary, your words are being heard and helping others. You are a humanitarian. Yeah, it was pretty cool to see that our thread got picked up by AM 560. Actually mentioned, I think, 2 days in a row. So, it's a testimony. If you're not following us on X, we're building an army on X. And our X account is really growing quickly, and it's exciting to see. And it's important that we grow that, because I get tips from all over the country on all kinds of things. And of course, I have to be selective in what we post. However, when there is a specific call to action, like what we saw with this Fox Valley situation, it's important that we mobilize everybody to support these businesses. That thread went mega viral, over 180,000 impressions, and then it just kept spreading. Like I said, Elijah Schaefer and Simply Offensive picked it up. And then we had the Gateway Pundit picking it up, taking it beyond what we had initially reported. And then you had the two major radio stations in Chicago And these businesses are now thriving. So we take the list and we turn it upside down. We turn it on their head. We've got The Guardian here, dropping 20. What's up, The Guardian 1? Great to see you. Thank you so much for dropping a 20 in the gas tank of the raw feed. And F. Joe Biden, yet again, another comment. Let's see what he's saying. There's talk about Matt not getting AG. Well, if he doesn't, they're saying he'll be named to the Senate by DeSantis. Well, they don't want Matt to be AG. They don't. They're terrified of what he's going to unravel over there. So they're going to do everything that they can to stop him. Okay, so where do we begin now? Let's go to our next topic of the evening. Remember when the left controlled the narrative? Well, those days are over. Tonight, we're watching the mainstream media empire collapse in real time. MSNBC, the crown jewel of leftist propaganda, is officially up for sale. Don Lemon and Joy Reid are fleeing social media. The View is desperately searching for pro-Trump voices. And in a move that speaks volumes, AOC has quietly removed her pronouns from her social media. The great liberal meltdown is here, folks, but it gets better. We've got exclusive footage and insider details about just how bad things are behind the scenes at these failing networks. Speaking of media control and protection, patriots, there's something the mainstream media won't tell you. While they are losing their grip on the narrative, you can protect your own story with CarVision X. This isn't just a dash cam, it's your personal truth recorder, perfect for capturing the real story when fake news tries to spin it. With 4K Ultra HD 24/7 recording, you will never miss a moment. So visit carvisionx.com, link below, for free shipping and join thousands of Americans who are taking control of their own narrative. So, what are we learning? Oh, it's beautiful to witness. Don Lemon announced that he's leaving X with an over-the-top statement. We've got the statement, and he was immediately roasted in ruthless fashion. You want to see him get roasted? Don Lemon gets turkey trolled on TikTok soon after his overly dramatic announcement that he's leaving X for good. Are you ready for this? Here we go.
The guy. That's what's happening. So all the guys, he's like, hey, I'm going to reward the guys that helped to get me in. I'm going to get all of the wokeness and the, do you know what? The softness, some of the LGBTQ. I don't know if he's going to have an LGBTQ ban, but I'm getting that. He's getting that out of the military.
They're putting turkeys on him, getting trolled on TikTok already. The reactions here. Also, we're learning that Stephen King has announced he's leaving X. Will you miss him? I don't think so. I don't think he'll be missed at all. I'm leaving Twitter. Tried to stay, but the atmosphere has become too toxic. Follow me on Threads if you like. Oh yeah, Threads? Really? Threads is just a dying platform too. Run by Mark Zuckerberg. Ian Yeager, breaking news. Stephen King has announced he's leaving X. How's that for scary, huh? Oh, looks like some posts got deleted. Oh, well. And, MSNBC is up for sale. Now, if you guys don't watch Patrick Bet-David, you need to. One of my favorite podcasts. MSNBC is up for sale. After the post-election ratings collapse, CNN is shedding top talent like snakeskin. And Patrick Bet-David says it best. The market is done with mainstream manipulation. America's turning to Rogan, Tucker, and real voices like the Next News Network. The mainstream media's grip is broken. Brian, take this vertical, please.
Million. Do you know what magazine is for sale effective yesterday? Time Magazine. Do you know who owns Time Magazine? Mark Benioff. Do you know who Mark Benioff is? He owns what company? Salesforce. Do you know what his net worth is? $10.7 billion. You know who turned down an interview to Time Magazine just a month ago? Kamala Harris. You know what he bought Time Magazine for? $190 million. Do you know how many subscribers Time Magazine had when he bought them? 4 million. Do you know how many subscribers Time Magazine has today? 1.6 million.
Wow.
Do you know WAPO, when Bezos came out and says, I don't give a shit if I lose subscribers, 2.5 million subscribers. He says, I'm not endorsing Kamala. Overnight loses 200,000 subscribers, bunch of employees. LA Times loses employees. 200 papers, including USA Today, who typically would have endorsed the left, said we're not doing it. Comcast came out. They're like, look, all these other businesses we own, they're performing. Roku, performing. All these other guys are performing. Does anybody want to buy MSNBC? And I was like, no. Does anybody want to buy CNN? No, we don't want to buy them. By the way, CNN and MSNBC, celebrity people that get up there thinking you're very important, your salary's been declining because they're no longer making money. And the reason why you're seeing these CNN people bashing Kamala, showing a clip that one page is her doing what John Kerry did in 2004, I believe, the flip-flop and stuff. Why are they doing it? If you don't, you're out of business. If you're out of business, no one's paying you. These people that are watching, they're just saying, who can I trust? No wonder Rogan's the #1 podcast in the world in 94 countries. Because people trust the guy. Tucker is 2-3. Theo Vaughn may be one of the best podcasters out there. Funny as hell. Top 5. This guy Sean Ryan coming out there doing interviews, blowing up all over the place. Yourself. All these guys, why are people going to them? The market is shifting, disruption at the highest level. And a lot of these guys are used to doing this. We just got a report right now. They don't know how to do this. And American people just want to do this because you know what this is? By the way, if we right now were having dinner, our dinner sounds like a podcast. People would sit there and say, wow, what was that all about? It's a great conversation. This is what America and the world is begging for.
Yo!
Mainstream, they're done with you. You are manipulating and they're done. The market is no longer working and they're walking away. Not because we have some fancy degrees, because people trust being real and sincere. Very simple, and the market's always right. Do you know what magazine is for sale?
Always right. And that's why these networks are failing. Brian, go back to horizontal. Comcast to put MSNBC and Oprah-founded Oxygen networks up for sale. Is Oxygen really a thing? Like, do you even have cable? I mean, I know I still have cable, but I never actually go and watch any of the cable channels. I mean, I just go to the on-demand stuff because I don't have time to sit there and wait for something to show up. Or maybe I'll put it on DVR. Oxygen Network? Who watches Oxygen Network? I mean, CNN's ratings have been going down for a very long time. I could only imagine how bad Oxygen Network is. Oprah's network. MSNBC going up for sale. Joy Reid. Yeah, the joy is gone. Oops, something went wrong. Try again. Joy Reid, one of the most toxic people on cable news, has decided she is going to leave X. Well, nobody cares. In fact, we celebrate that. I mean, you can certainly have your voice, Joy. You're free to say whatever you want, wherever you want. And the unfortunate thing is that MSNBC platforms your hate. And then your hate permeates the American people and creates Trump derangement syndrome. I mean, you are like patient zero for Trump derangement syndrome, Joy. And this is her announcement. I haven't listened to it yet, but this is her announcement. Brian, let's go vertical and see what this toxic person has to say.
Does like an aggregate. Hey guys, so today I finally did something I've been meaning to do for a while. And the reason for doing it,
the reason for doing it, guess what? See, what she did there, she just simply deactivated the account. She didn't delete the account. She can come back at any time and she could turn it back on. All right? This is all drama.
My 1.9 million followers over there is because I hadn't been posting for a long time. I just didn't want to contribute content once it was purchased by its present owner. But just having it there, I was only holding on to it because I, really didn't want someone trying to take over that name and using it for nefarious purposes. So I was a little bit worried about that. And also every so often I would use it to just like sort of look at news that was trending and what's happening. And I would just sort of use it as like an aggregator. But I just realized that that's not really worth it because in a way, guys, so today I finally did something I've been meaning.
Oh, well, goodbye, Joy. Goodbye, Don Lemon. Goodbye, Stephen King. Goodbye, MSNBC. Goodbye, CNN. And then we have this. This was like the big news today, too. Brian, go horizontal, please. AOC removed her pronouns from her bio. Why would she do that? Why would she suddenly do that? Libs of TikTok breaking the story 12 hours ago. Just in, AOC removed her pronouns from her bio. And here you can see, this is the original she, her, proudly presented. And then, oops, guess what? Nope, no more. Why would you remove them, AOC? Can we get some answers here? Well, here she is 2 years ago posting an apology for forgetting to put her pronouns in her bio.
Oh, I'm sorry about that. They used to be on there. Let me go in and check and see if I can add them. Sorry about that. They used to be there. I guess they fell off, but I'll put them on right now.
Wow. I'm sorry. They used to be there. I guess they fell off. No, they don't just fall off, AOC. It was intentional. But now she has removed she, her from her profile. The reactions online, AOC removing the pronouns from her bio is a hell of a vibe shift. Not the B. AOC deleted the pronouns in her bio. It's crazy that I still know to call it her bio when I no longer have any way of knowing her gender. Democrats are removing pronouns from their bio, another battle that we have won. R.I.P. AOC's pronoun in bio. And wokeness posting that. And then we have this from The View. See, they're all reacting to the MAGA shift in America. They know that map of all the red counties, all the red states, they know that they will not survive in that America. So they have to somehow figure out how to get into that narrative, right? They want to paint us as a divided country. We're very united. We are a very red country. And The View recognizes this. ABC News reportedly searching for conservative voices to balance the anti-Trump rhetoric spewed by the hosts on The View. Resist the mainstream. The View is reportedly scrambling to hire a pro-Trump personality. Will they help or hurt the show's ratings? New York Post covering this as well. ABC brass scrambling to bring in pro-Trump voices on The View and other shows. Panic mode is setting in. Proud Elephant, again, trending politics news, covering this. The View scrambles to hire pro-Trump voices as ratings tumble. And then we learned this. Yes, Whoopi Goldberg, despite the fact that The View is looking for conservative talent, Whoopi Goldberg is now announcing that she is joining women in their sex strike. Did you know that there's a sex strike going on? Yes, Democrat, liberal, progressive women have vowed celibacy, I guess. And because of Donald Trump, they're protesting with the JJ.
We don't let this.
We all came from
I dare. Yeah, you didn't get here by yourself, man. You can't do this without us. Yeah. And if we don't let you, you don't get any. It's that simple. It's that simple. There.
I have a feeling that sex strike with Whoopi Goldberg is going to be very easy for her. Very easy. Was anyone trying to have sex with Whoopi Goldberg? I don't think so. But regardless, The View, they are looking to hire conservatives now. AOC dropping her pronouns. Joy Reid leaving X. MSNBC up for sale. CNN up for sale. Time Magazine up for sale. Stephen King, he's afraid. Yes, the king of horror is afraid of X. Don Lemon getting trolled after leaving leaving X. So the complete meltdown of the left, not just these posts that you see of people screaming into their smartphones in their car, or throwing milkshakes or something. That is like the rank and file of the progressive left, of the TDS individuals. What we're talking about this here is like the institutional left, the media left, the vectors of TDS. They're the ones that are melting down, and they are vacating social media and doing radical shifts in their own platform. There's even talk of Elon Musk maybe buying MSNBC. Who knows if that would happen or not? I think that'd be pretty cool. So the mainstream media, their empire is crumbling. It's happening faster than anyone predicted. We've watched them lose their pronouns, their ratings, and now their entire networks are up for sale. This isn't just a decline, it's a total collapse of the propaganda machine that has controlled American minds for decades. And while you're watching history unfold, show your support for real news with our exclusive Next News merch at shop.nextnewsnetwork.com. It's linked below. Let everyone know you're part of the movement that's bringing down the mainstream media empire. But here's what I need to know from you. Answer in the comments. With MSNBC up for sale and CNN hemorrhaging viewers, should patriots buy these failing networks and transform them, or just let them collapse completely? What would you do with these propaganda machines if you had the power? Let us know in the comments below. All right. Saw a couple more super chats come through. Susudio 0530, what's up? Coffee shop on the list, sells ground coffee online. Yeah, that is I think it's Black Rifle Coffee. That's the name of the company. Look them up online and buy some coffee from them. Tell them that Next News Network, tell them Gary Franchi sent you. I don't get anything for it, but maybe some local clout. Hey, you're that guy. You're that guy. Yeah, I am that guy. We got Fishman dropping another 5 spot here. Let's see, what does this say here? TikTok lib women. Talking about, I see, that's stuff I can't read these things. You can see it on the screen. I'll put it up there. You guys can read it. I'm just not comfortable reading those kinds of things, Fishman. All right. Checking in on the main feed real quick before we get to our next topic. Let's see who is here. Let's see. January 20 noon, they will be gone if Trump wins. He did keep your promise. Who was Whoopi's Harvey Weinstein? Ooh, creep. If I had money, I'd buy MSNBC and fire those vile people immediately. Whoopi is going on strike, but says she'll make an exception for you, Gary. What? Lieutenant Dan, seriously? Whoopi's going to make an exception for me? All right. Yeah. Let's go. Let's go, Whoopi. Come on, baby. Ooh. Thanks, man. Thanks for painting that picture. I regret reading that comment. Eagle Eye says he got a strike for calling Whoopi a POS on The View. You got a strike? How would you get a strike for that? Let them crash. I wouldn't bail them out to a vet, says. Let's see. Pepperjet. Miss Danny. Many are leaving YouTube and going to Rumble and BitChute. Yes, they are. If Elon were to buy it, Grayley Art says, it'd be a complete loss. Nobody watches that. Let's see. You should buy one and make it yours. Change it and make it yours. No, we don't have that kind of money. We do not. Okay, let's see. Propaganda machines are out of order and ready for demolition. Dark Meta. Whoopi, Arby's, beef curtain. Thanks. Thanks a lot. I read that out loud. Thanks a lot. Really appreciate that. You guys. Killing me. Killing me! All right, where are we at? We got to get to our third topic of the night. Okay. This one, there's a lot to get into here. Okay. Lots of details. Let's see. All right. 9 days after Donald Trump's landslide victory, the deep state is having a complete meltdown. Why? Because the new cabinet picks are their worst nightmare come true. Matt Gaetz as Attorney General, Elon Musk leading government efficiency, RFK Jr. at Health and Human Services, Marco Rubio at State. And that's just the beginning. The swamp creatures are in full panic mode, and tonight we have exclusive details about how these appointments are already sending shockwaves through Washington. The administrative state's days are numbered, and the bureaucrats know it. This isn't just a new administration, it's a complete demolition crew. And speaking of demolishing old systems, let me tell you about what's demolishing men's testosterone levels in America. No, it's not Whoopi Goldberg. But did you know there's one common food? Something you probably eat every day. It's destroying your body's natural testosterone production. Well, the deep state doesn't want you to know this, but our friends at V-Shred, well, they've exposed it. Just like Trump's new cabinet is cleaning house in D.C., you need to clean house in your diet. Visit sculptnation.com/NNN now to discover what this testosterone-killing food is and take back control of your health. You'll find it linked below. There's a video there. Check it out. Okay. Chad Pergram posted this about 12 hours ago. This is what Blumenthal had to say. Matt Gaetz' nomination alone is likely to bring chaos to the Department of Justice because it will prompt major resignations among the professionals who have no intention of serving with Attorney General interested in pyrotechnics and acting rather than real law. Well, guess what? If you are going to resign, you're going to make Matt Gaetz' job a lot easier. Let the trash take itself out. And it's not just at the Department of Justice. You know, RFK has now been appointed to Health and Human Services. And it's already out there. That hundreds of people are already getting ready to jump ship because they know what's going to happen. He's going to come in with a wrecking ball and he's going to take out that entire all the dead weight. In fact, I have been texting with Ty Bollinger. In fact, he brought this to my attention. Like I was checking it out when RFK when he was announced. And Donald Trump posted, "I'm thrilled to announce RFK as the United States Secretary of Health and Human Services." And this is what we found out earlier. RFK Jr. plans to fire 600 employees at the National Institute of Health. 600 employees. National Institute of Health. Remember what they did during the pandemic? Remember what the advice and the guidelines that they gave everybody? Mm-hmm. Who can forget, right? We got more on that in a moment. But first, there's one person who is not happy about Matt Gaetz becoming the secretary, his appointment at the Department of Justice, Attorney General. It's John Bolton, Mr. Mustache himself.
Against both. Tulsi Gabbard, what are your thoughts this morning?
Well, I thought it was the worst cabinet level appointment in history until they then heard about the Matt Gaetz appointment. Really, my reaction was that this is like the legend of Caligula, the Roman emperor, who wanted to nominate his horse as a Roman consul. You had to be a Roman senator at the time to be a consul, and it was intended to show how demeaned and degraded the Roman Senate had become. So now we're going to see whether the American Senate can stand up and reject two people who are totally unqualified, unfit professionally, and really lacking in the moral characteristics, the character that you need to hold these jobs. I think this vote should be 100-0 against both of them.
Yeah, sure. Well, guess what? Donald Trump has other plans. He has a secret weapon he's about to deploy. A lot of people, though, they want Alex Jones to become the press secretary. Alex Jones was 12 hours ago. Feds forced Alex Jones out of Infowars studio, but he's still live. And we have some more updates on that coming very soon. But Alex Jones is press secretary. Everybody wants it. Everyone would love to see it. At first, I thought it was a crazy idea at first, but truly, I want to see Alex Jones as press secretary now. Am I nuts? The greatest alliance in politics of all time. Now, if only Alex Jones got to be press secretary for a day. Of course, Elon Musk, as you know, he's been tapped to lead the Department of Government Efficiency. And he's going to be working alongside Vivek Ramaswamy and Ron Paul to cut the fat from government. They've got a website they're going to be launching where you can actually take a look. This is the best part, where you can look and see which agencies and which, line item grants, programs, where all your tax money is going, and you can vote for them, which one you want to see axed and which one you think should be kept. And I think we got a clip here from Rand Paul talking about some of those things. Let's see, where's Rand Paul? I've got the clip. But remember, they're complaining. Bolton's complaining about Matt Gaetz. But these are some of Biden's teams. They salivated over them, had no problems, although they screwed everything up. Yeah, look at these folks. I mean, the train derailment in East Palestine. Where was Pete Buttigieg? Nowhere to be found. And then this person in the bald person here getting caught stealing people's luggage. I mean, it just goes on and on. I have the clip here from Rand Paul. Here. Okay, so 16 hours ago, Elon Musk must be fixed ASAP. Here's an example of some of the lunacy that we're going to expect is going to be gone. I love Rand Paul.
Of a gun that a looming recession, spurred largely by exorbitant government spending, would give this Congress pause. But instead of taking a minute to consider what a responsible federal government budget looks like, we are instead placed behind the barrel of a gun, forcing us to choose between letting government expire or blindly passing a $1.7 trillion spending package that not only does not balance, but in fact spends over 10% more than last year. How does Congress spend taxpayers' money? Well, here's just a few examples of how your government currently spends money. We found that they spent last year $2.3 million injecting beagles with cocaine. It seems that they were curious, their researchers were curious, despite the pain they inflicted on these dogs, they were curious to know if cocaine causes adverse effects. Guess what? Read the newspaper. Read the news. Look at the addicts across our country. You think you need to inject beagles with cocaine to know that cocaine's a bad deal? $700,000 was spent to study how male parrots attract their mate. Really? We've got people who go hungry in our country. We got people that are trying to get out from behind poverty, and we're spending $700,000 studying how male parrots attract a female. We spent $187,000 to study whether or not dogs help kids cope. Of course they do. Ask any pet owner. Any pet owner could have told you, and we would have saved the taxpayer $187,000. We spent $118,000 to study if a metal replica, a robot of Marvel Comics' evil warlord Thanos, could snap his fingers.
What?
$118,000, really. They apparently hired some dude to wear metal gloves and then try to snap his fingers. You know what? They found out that it's impossible to make a snapping sound with metal fingers. So robots of the world, be warned, it's hard to snap your fingers.
That's just a taste of some of the garbage that we are finally going to see. It's only in moments like these, when Rand Paul would go on the Senate floor and he would expose these things, that we would actually learn what government is doing with our money. And now, thankfully, Elon Musk, Vivek Ramaswamy, Ron Paul are all going to be exposing it, putting it on a website, and we're all going to be able to see it. I can't wait to report on it. I'm going to pull up the website. All right, guys. All right, which one do you think we should cancel today? Oh, HIV transgender monkeys. A study on that? Okay, canceled, right? I mean, what else? Okay, so here we have, going back to the Department of Justice, because Matt Gaetz is creating a lot of waves. He resigned from Congress officially, and he's going to go into that DOJ, and he's going to drop some bombs. And I've got the secret weapon. I'm going to tell you the secret weapon in just a moment of how Donald Trump's going to do this without any obstruction. It's genius, actually. But here is Senator Bill Hagerty dropping truth bombs on MSNBC about the weaponization of the DOJ and obliterating every single BS narrative and Andrea Mitchell that she throws at him. Watch.
Many of the enemy now is Tennessee Republican Senator Bill Hagerty, who served as U.S. Ambassador to Japan during the first Trump administration. Welcome and thank you so much for being with us, Senator. I appreciate it.
It's good to be with you, Andrea.
So what is your reaction to Matt Gaetz as Attorney General? Right now, would you support him?
Listen, Andrea, it's amazing to me that people are reacting the way they are and what you just showed, because there has been no one better at channeling the American public's frustration with the weaponization of the Department of Justice than Matt Gaetz. You can understand the president's frustration with the DOJ. During his campaign, during his first campaign, they used a fake Clinton dossier to spy on him. Look at what happened in the first Trump administration. This whole fake Russiagate hoax, the DOJ investigated him for years doing that. In 2020, the DOJ went to big tech and had them censor Hunter Biden's laptop to throw the election toward Joe Biden. And if you think about what just happened in 2024, the DOJ, their colleagues around the country, they brought 5 different cases to try President Biden's top opponent, President Trump. I can understand his frustration in wanting to put an agent of change in place. I'm not surprised at all.
Well, I don't want to litigate all that happened with Donald Trump because there's a lot of evidence to support many of the allegations. And in fact, the indictments, Mar-a-Lago, the sloppy intelligence handling.
Andrew, I think the American public spoke louder than anybody. They gave him the strongest mandate we've seen in 36 years in reaction to all of this.
But a Trump-appointed judge cut all of that off, and it wasn't fully vetted. So let's just talk about that. Was the legal system at work, no question. And
it was not working. It was weaponized.
Mm-hmm. Well, what about this nominee?
As I said, this nominee has actually been an outspoken critic.
a record himself, but he's been an outspoken critic. But what about his personal record? There are questions about him. He was on the House floor sharing photos of women, bragging about his sexual exploits, about the medication that he used, the drugs that he used. The ethics investigation has not been released yet. It's been cut off. It was supposed to be voted on tomorrow, but his resignation has aborted that. But what about all of the questions and the allegations against him? His co-conspirator and his friend is serving an 11-year jail term for the sex trafficking. I mean, there was plenty to investigate there.
Andrea, you said it yourself. These are allegations. It's amazing that you're more upset about allegations than you are about the weaponization of the Department of Justice. The American public has completely lost faith in the DOJ. Think about it. The DOJ sending their agents to spy on the parents who go to, the school board meetings. It's just amazing. As the American public has seen all of this, they see somebody like Matt Gaetz who's willing to stand up and call it wrong, and President Trump's willing to put somebody in place that will change all of this. That's what the American
Yep, that's what the American people want. And that's what the American people deserve. Not people like this, the chest feeders. Okay, so Senator John Cornyn, however, wants to review the House Ethics Committee investigation of Matt Gaetz.
Committee be talking about recess
on the issue of vetting, though, how critical is it then to have access to what the House Ethics Committee has found in their investigation?
I think there should not be any limitation on the Senate Judiciary Committee's investigation, including whatever the House Ethics Committee has generated.
So you want to see it?
Absolutely.
So John Cornyn, he wants to see it. Doug Collins has accepted the nomination as Secretary of Veterans Affairs. Our heroes deserve the best care and support. We will fight tirelessly to streamline and cut regulations in the VA, root out corruption, and ensure every veteran receives the benefits that they have earned. Donald J. Trump officially nominating him. And of course, the left, they are freaking out. Tom Homan is the border czar, Pete Hegseth as Secretary of Defense, Elon and Vivek, Department of Governmental Efficiency, and Matt Gaetz is Attorney General. They are big mad. And Amuse posted this pipe bomb. With Matt Gaetz heading up the DOJ and FBI, I have a funny feeling we're going to find out what that so-called J6 pipe bomb suspect was. A federal agent or asset. Representative Barry Loudermilk revealed that the FBI lied about the cellular phone data being corrupted. Senator Ron Johnson, he had some fun. Reporters asked him his opinion on Matt Gaetz, and he unfolded a printout of a picture of Rachel Levine and Sam Brinton and asked reporters whether they harassed Democrats over those nominees. Yeah, remember this picture? Oh, yeah. Okay, so what is the secret weapon? I want to get to that because it was posted by, oh yeah, remember this guy? Yeah. Remember this guy?
It's Cooper. One sec. Democracy's calling. See you, Daddy. Bye. Hi, my name is Cooper, and this is a day in my life as a White House intern. We did a joke. Hey, everyone. Vogue. Usually I start off with a big coffee.
Yeah, I'm not going to subject you to any more of that. Okay. President Trump also has picked high-profile New York lawyer and prosecutor Todd Blanche to be Deputy Attorney General under Matt Gaetz. Blanche is a bulldog. The Department of Justice is going to be stacked like we've never seen before. Okay, so this is the secret. All right. If you remember, if you watched the Madison Square Garden rally, Donald Trump was on stage. I remember it specifically because he looked over and he looked at Speaker Mike Johnson, who was sitting off to the side. And he said, hey, remember that secret we talked about, the secret? Well, now we're learning more about what that was. So, if you were listening closely, you might have heard Trump mention a secret he had with Speaker Johnson. It's abundantly clear that if Trump wants to put his dream team together, he's going to need to make a bunch of recess appointments. Now, the Senate is unlikely to agree to to agree to adjourn, so he can use his authority to adjourn both chambers as long as Johnson cooperates. Under Article 2, Section 3 of the U.S. Constitution, the president has the authority to adjourn Congress in the case of a disagreement between the House and the Senate over the time of adjournment. It's a power that's never been used, never been used in the history of our nation. And its scope remains relatively untested. So here's a quick summary of the conditions that would be needed. One House must request adjournment. One of the chambers, in this case likely the House of Representatives, led by Speaker Mike Johnson, would formally seek to adjourn. The other House must refuse. The other chamber in this scenario is the Senate, must then refuse to agree to this request. If this condition is met, it opens the door for the president to step in and resolve the disagreement by adjourning both chambers. Once Congress is adjourned, the president could use the recess to make recess appointments under Article 2, Section 2 of the Constitution. This would allow Trump to install his preferred cabinet members without Senate confirmation. Checkmate. So this is what everybody's talking about, the secret plan, the recess appointments. And if they pull this off, all of these people that we've talked about, all these people in the nomination process, Gaetz, RFK, etc., would just automatically take the positions. They couldn't haul Matt Gaetz in front of the Senate and grill him like they'd want to. I mean, you know what they do at these hearings. They get a bunch of radical leftists and they all go in the gallery and they make a lot of noise, or they suddenly come up with all these allegations from, oh, Matt Gaetz touched my fanny 20 years ago. Right? All these people are going to come out of the woodwork. But that will all be avoided if Donald Trump and Mike Johnson pull this off. And I remember hearing it so clearly at that Madison Square Garden rally you guys sent me to. Holy cow, man. That's what I'm looking forward to seeing. Senate Majority Leader John Thune says all options are on the table, including recess appointments that would allow confirmation of nominees without Senate confirmation if the Democrats fail to act. I'm going to play this clip, but I want to let you know I've got some stuff with Ron Paul coming up and other great things. So don't go anywhere. Let's listen to this. It's 40 seconds.
If it came, so you've said that you would do recess appointments. If it came to that, what's the threshold for getting to that point for recess appointments?
Well, what I said is, Brett, and I think this is that all options are on the table, including recess appointments. Hopefully it doesn't get to that, but we'll find out fairly quickly whether the Democrats want to play ball or not. And I think part of it is getting these folks. We'll start having confirmation hearings as soon as the new Senate is sworn in January. President takes the oath of office January 20th. By the time he takes the oath of office, hopefully a lot of those nominees will be through their confirmation hearings and will be ready to act on them on the Senate floor. And then it's a question of how much do the Democrats resist or object or try to block those nominations from going forward. And we're going to grind them out. I mean, we're just going to keep consistently moving, and we'll see what kind of cooperation we get. And then we'll, like I said, we'll make decisions about where do we go from there.
Recess appointments are on the table. Now, here's something. Okay, listen, I want you to hear what Ron Paul said here. Because I brought it up. I was on Alex Jones' show today, and I brought this up, and I was actually talking to Ann Vandersteel about this last night. And, we were talking about how we got to this point. Donald Trump winning the election. And we talked about the assassination attempts, the ones that we know of. We talked about, all the lawfare, everything they've been doing to try to destroy Trump. Of course, he had all the impeachment hearings and, the Russia investigation. All these things they've been trying to do to stop him. But those are all from institutional attacks. But think about when you cut $2 trillion from the federal budget. When Elon Musk goes ahead and he puts out this list of all these ridiculous programs that are about to get cut. Well, all those programs are run by people. Like the guy who's trying to figure out if a robot can snap or how beagles react to cocaine, right? They're getting lots of money to do ridiculous things. And they are just cashing those checks. Well, what happens when all those checks don't show up anymore? All those programs get cut. All these people who had grants suddenly, oh, sorry, we canceled your grant. Now you're talking not just an institutional attack, you're talking about all the people who are affected by these cuts. And like Ron Paul says here, and Vivek Ramaswamy tweeted it, you can't cut $2 trillion without annoying a couple of people. Listen to this.
The people we have visited with both Musk and Ramaswamy, and they're very, very dedicated, and I think they truly believe that they can cut a couple $1 trillion off the budget. But I don't think my problem with that is that will awaken a lot of people. You can't cut $2 trillion without annoying a couple people. We have visited.
Yeah, there's going to be a whole new breed of enemies coming out. Unity has officially occurred. MAGA and MAHA are joining forces. Matt Gaetz nominated as Attorney General. Robert F. Kennedy planning to fire 600 employees of the National Institute of Health. John Bolton freaking out over Matt Gaetz. Robert F. Kennedy posting this, when you realize that the two most profitable businesses are war and illness, it's easy to understand what's going on. Now, Ron DeSantis has just posted this. Congratulations to the Floridians being appointed to key positions in the Trump administration. Senator Marco Rubio, which is controversial for many people because of his neocon foundation. Congressman Matt Gaetz and Congressman Mike Waltz. He's instructed Secretary of State Cord Byrd to formulate and announce a schedule for the upcoming special appointments. Donald Trump Jr. celebrating the RFK announcement. He will be the Secretary of Health and Human Services. Promises made, promises kept. Now here's Marco Rubio. See, there's a lot of weird speculation. 3 days ago it was Marco Rubio, then it was Rick Grinnell. I was like, who is it going to be? Well, now it's official. Marco Rubio, leading the U.S. Department of State, is a tremendous responsibility, and I'm honored by the trust President Trump has placed in me as Secretary of State. I will work every day to carry out his foreign policy agenda. Okay, let's just hope it's not your agenda. But here's this. Oh, and going back to this, George Papadopoulos posted this as well. Trump can adjourn both houses of Congress under Article 2, Section 3, and then recess appoint his cabinet. There will be no obstruction of his cabinet picks. That is the secret weapon. But here's what Ron Paul had to say. The good doctor had to say about Marco Rubio. He says, really, Mr. President? Let's listen.
So doesn't mean that we got a little bit concerned about this announcement that at least somebody's quoting somebody like Trump and saying Trump said this and Trump's plans to do this. And that has to do with Rubio. You know, Rubio, he's one of those that's not on our favorite list.
No.
So, and that means that he could become Secretary of State. And I don't think that would be good for the country.
No.
So,
or the world.
There's two different kinds of people in the world, the way I see it, when I want to simplify it. There are the authoritarians, and there are the people who want to follow, voluntarism and peaceful means. And I would put him into the category of authoritarianism because he's expressed himself. He wants, and his authoritarianism doesn't mean that he beats up on people. That's a personal thing. But authoritarians in politics is much, much more deadly.
Yeah.
They have more power, and they can do things. They can change the world. They can, especially in the Secretary of State, they can set the stage for a conflict that becomes very real and very dangerous. I think the non-intervention is obviously the way to go, but right now I would say that Rubio, as Secretary of State, would be taking a step in a direction that we would not be pleased with.
Yeah, and I mean, as positive as we felt yesterday, we were talking about some rumors about Vivek Ramaswamy, and although he's not exactly in our camp, he's more of a realistically minded person who we thought would look at the world pretty objectively, and a very smart guy, objectively true, a very smart guy. Well, it kind of went downhill, and I went home, and not only Rubio is bad news, Dr. Paul. I don't want to make it even sound worse, but Mike Waltz as National Security Advisor, an absolute disaster. And Elaine Stefanik, although she won't necessarily be in a policy-making role, she'll be enormously high profile as the U.S. ambassador to the UN. And ironically, because we cheered when Trump said, I will not have Pompeo or Nikki Haley in my administration, she literally is Nikki Haley. You know, she's a younger version of Nikki Haley, in terms of policy. So very crestfallen on our part. As you say, our fingers are right now so crossed, I think we need a splint on them, hoping that we'll at least get one.
Okay, so think about this. Okay. We got to, regardless, these are all public officials. Donald Trump, Matt Gaetz, Rubio, they are all public officials. And we need to hold them all accountable. It doesn't matter. That is our job as Americans. We can sit here and we can be cheerleaders for Donald Trump. And you guys know that I am in Trump's corner. I mean, look at my desk. Okay? I've got Donald Trump statue that speaks to me.
From this day forward, it's going to be only America first.
I mean, I've got bobbleheads. I mean, listen, I'm a cheerleader for Trump. Not going to lie. But we still need to make sure that the people that he appoints are held accountable too. And if there's something that Trump does, he gets a lot of flack for what he did during the pandemic with Operation Warp Speed. People are still very upset about that, and rightfully so. So there are things we still need to make sure that we are paying attention to hold people accountable and push back when necessary. Okay, so keep that in mind. Now, Alan Jacoby posted this. Matt Gaetz will be the next United States Attorney General in one of three ways: successful Senate confirmation, forced recess appointment, or appointed as acting Attorney General. Deal with it. We are the disruptors. Welcome to the Thunderdome. And then Laura Trump now responding to calls for Governor DeSantis to appoint her as U.S. Senator of Florida to fill Marco Rubio's seat. Let's listen.
Live to be able to serve in this role has really been the honor of a lifetime. Likewise, if I am able to serve, I would love to serve the people of Florida. This is my home state now and has been for 3 years. This is where Eric and I live. And truly to have that opportunity, I think would be incredible. No one knows better than I do the America First agenda or the goals of Donald Trump in the coming 4 years. So if I am asked, I would love to consider it, but I have yet to have a conversation with Governor DeSantis. So we will have to see.
It will be interesting if that actually unfolds, because DeSantis has to appoint her. Now, will there be screams of nepotism? But it can't be nepotism if DeSantis appoints her, right? Of course, if Donald Trump's whispering in his ear. And then we go back to this. Elon Musk, Department of Government Efficiency. I can't wait to see it. Here's Tulsi Gabbard. This is... She was talking with Megyn Kelly about Marco Rubio. This was 2 days ago. Now, Brian, go vertical with this, please.
Wanting to do now, and I think it would be a huge mistake for President Trump to choose him because he represents the neocon warmongering establishment of Washington, D.C., which stands diametrically opposed to the very policies that President Trump has always stood for, going all the way back to when he ran for president in 2016 through that first term in office, and the things that he's talking about wanting to do now. And it would send the wrong message to a lot of folks who are very concerned about the fact that we are on the brink of war with Russia and China and Iran and North Korea. If Marco Rubio is his vice president, then that is what we will face, and it will cause a lot of people to question what kind of foreign policy will cause a lot of people to question is his vice president. Then that is what we will face, and it will cause a lot of people to question what kind of foreign policy will actually be executed. Will it be the one that Trump wants and stands for, or will it be one that will continue the deep state neocon warmongers who've gotten us into the mess that we are in now?
Well, obviously he was not chosen to be the vice president, but those are her thoughts on him if he was. But those thoughts still apply to the Secretary of State position. Now, why Donald Trump chose him, I still don't quite understand. But, maybe it is because he is hawkish and he wants somebody that's going to be hawkish out there because Donald Trump, he's not afraid to walk softly and carry a big stick. And maybe he just wants Marco Rubio to carry that stick for him so that the rest of the world knows that Trump ain't messing around. I mean, remember what happened like a couple days into the 2016 administration. One of the first things that Trump did, he dropped a Moab in Afghanistan and just wiped out an entire underground structure of terrorists. And it came out of nowhere. I remember it very clearly. I know you guys do too. You remember that. And that was Donald Trump sending a message. You want to F around, you're going to find out. So maybe Rubio is that big stick. But again, we have to hold him accountable because we don't want to have endless wars. We don't want to get into endless conflicts. We want to extract ourselves. We don't want to keep sending money to Ukraine, sending money to all these nations. We want peace. And if Rubio is able to negotiate these peace deals with Donald Trump, then so be it. That's what we want. Let's just hope he listens. Did you see this? This was so awesome. This was Sylvester Stallone. He showed up at Mar-a-Lago. Brian, go horizontal with this. Sylvester Stallone, man. How cool. Brian, there we go. Thank you.
Oh, thank you, everyone. Boy, I need Spanish lessons. No question about it. Proud to be here. I didn't expect this, but I'll just keep it short and sweet because there's no such a thing as a speech too short. When I did Rocky, if you remember, the first image was a picture of Jesus, and it says Resurrection AC Club. I found a church that had been converted to a boxing ring. So the image pans down from Jesus onto Rocky being hit. And at that moment, he was a chosen person, and that's how I began the journey. Something was going to happen. This man was going to go through a metamorphosis and change lives, just like President Trump. We are in the presence of a really mythical character. I love mythology. And this individual does not exist on this planet. Nobody in the world could have pulled off what he pulled off, so I'm in awe. And I'll just say this, and I mean it. When George Washington defended his country, he had no idea that he was going to change the world. Because without him, you can imagine what the world would look like. Guess what? We got the second George Washington. Congratulations!
The second George Washington. That is who it is, man. That's what we've got. And I'm here for every moment. President Trump says that Jamie Dimon of JP Morgan Chase will not be invited to be a part of the Trump administration. Dimon's wife, Judy, campaigned for Kamala Harris. I respect Jamie Dimon of JP Morgan Chase, Trump says, greatly, but he will not be invited to be a part of the Trump administration. I thank Jamie for his outstanding service to our country. Oh, Judy Dimon, Jamie Dimon's wife, campaigns for Harris. Yeah. Senator Rick Scott supports Laura Trump to fill Marco Rubio's seat. We're learning that. So much is happening in the country, but having Alex Jones as press secretary would certainly be epic. What do you guys think? Would you like to see that, even for a day? A surprise walk-in from Alex Jones. God, I would pay millions of dollars to see that, if I had millions of dollars. So I think we've covered a lot of ground here. I think one of the most exciting things too, though, is Robert F. Kennedy reportedly planning to fire 600 employees at NIH. So let's keep it up, keep the pressure on, hold them all accountable, keep watching, and celebrate, but hold them accountable. So the establishment thought they could stop Trump's America First agenda. Instead, they're watching as he assembles the most powerful anti-deep state cabinet in American history. From Gaetz bringing the hammer of justice to Elon Musk chainsawing through bureaucracy to RFK Jr. exposing Big Pharma, this is the team that keeps the globalists all up at night. And while you're watching this historic transformation, don't forget to grab your exclusive Next News merch at shop.nextnewsnetwork.com. It's linked below. Wear it proudly as we witness the swamp being drained in real time. But here's what we need you to tell us in the comments. If you could add one more person to Trump's cabinet, who would it be? And for what position? Who else deserves a shot at demolishing the deep state? Drop your dream picks down below. All right. Saw some super chats come through here. Viv B. She said, Viv B, thank you for your $5 in the Alex Jones was right jar. I heard Trudeau refusing to release a list of hundreds of Nazis that came to Canada after World War II. Rumor is they are Ukrainian Nazis, would prove Putin right. I do not know. That's something I have not heard. But I remember when he celebrated one of them in their, what is it? What do they call it? House of Lords or House of Commons or something? Thou, thank you for your $20 in the jar. Keep up the great work, Gary. We need you monetized on YouTube again. Well, we are monetized. Thank you. And that is why you are able to drop your super chats. We have an Australian $5 bill. What is this? What is he saying? What's Rick saying? On behalf of all Aussies, we are behind Trump and American people. God bless you all from your brothers and sisters down under. That's so awesome. I take great joy when I see people from all over the world leaving comments, dropping super chats. Singapore, Europe, Australia, New Zealand. It is so cool. Philippines. I mean, it's the coolest thing. F. Joe Biden. It's funny how media disregards people who get security briefings every day, like they don't know what they're talking about. Yeah. But that's what the media does, and that's what they do best. Okay, we've got more news ahead. This is our Infowars story. Yeah. Let's see what we've got here. Make sure I've got all the notes. Where's the clip? I thought that I had my clip in here somewhere. Let's see. I thought I had it. 1 second. Let me pull that and add it to the list. Sometimes these bookmarks, they don't show up correctly, and it's annoying. Let's see here. This is, where is it? Alex Jones retweeted me, or he tweeted out the video, which was awesome. Okay, here it is. I know I sent it to, I thought I sent it to. Okay, where is it now? I'm getting to it. Guys. Let's see here. It's on my X profile. Oh, we got to pin the feed, pin to profile. Now it's at the top. Cool. Oh, here it is. Yeah. So I was actually on it with Alex for I was on his show for 20, almost 30 minutes today. And I posted the full thing on X. And you can check it out. Watch the full thing. Shared some pretty intimate moments that I don't normally share. And give you some deep background. But I'm going to add this to my bookmark folder. And I'll play a little clip of it. Okay. Get back to this. All right. The deep state thought they had Alex Jones cornered. They thought their plan to force Infowars into the hands of the Onion was foolproof. But something happened they never expected. A judge just halted the entire sale, and tonight we're bringing you exclusive details about what really went down in that bankruptcy court. A higher bid mysteriously rejected, rules changed at the last minute. The trustees' shocking admission. This isn't just about a website anymore. It's about the establishment's desperate attempt to silence one of the most powerful voices in independent media, and that attempt just backfired spectacularly. Now, patriots, in times like these, when they're trying to silence independent media, you need to protect yourself and your family. Just like Alex Jones needs evidence to fight in court, you need a Car Vision X dash cam to document the truth. So when the deep state operatives try to set you up, this military-grade camera system captures everything in crystal clear 4K. With night vision and 24/7 recording, you will never miss a crucial moment. So visit carvisionx.com in the description for free shipping and join the patriots who refuse to be silenced. Okay, so I did appear. Brian contacted me. He said, hey, Alex is having this big show today. You need to get in it. Made a couple text messages to his producers, Daria and Rob, and I was on in about an hour. It's pretty cool. But Alex Jones is not finished, my friends. He's evolving. On the final Infowars broadcast, I declared they can take the studio, the cameras, and the lights, but they can never kill the message. The next chapter of Infowars will be stronger than ever. The revolution marches on. Here's a clip.
I want to thank Gary Francis for coming on. Gary, you got the floor, buddy. Give me. I'm listening to you, but give me 15 minutes. I'm gonna come back and talk to you. I got some questions, my old friend. Go ahead.
Alex Jones, man, it's an honor to be here with you on this historic day for Infowars and watching you storm forward into the next incarnation of Infowars. And, I've been watching this in the background and my heart has been breaking, but I just want everyone who's watching to know that I wouldn't be in this chair if I didn't look you up 25 years ago. And it is the work and the foundation that you have laid for so many years that has awoken so many and has created a ripple effect in this next American revolution, the revolution that we are in now, the revolution of the mind, the revolution of the soul. And Alex, your work, like I said, it is foundational to what I'm doing. Yeah, that's us right there. Back in the day, that was us. That's when I first met you at the 9/11 Truth event in Chicago, and we marched in the streets. And if you look in the background, right behind me, right there, that's Luke. That's Luke Rudkowski. I'll never forget when he was sitting with us, and we were on the L. We were heading downtown, and he had this massive book. He had this massive book of all of this 9/11 truth, and it's amazing that now we can contain all that information on our phones. But that just goes to show, back in the day when we would be burning DVDs and passing them out in the streets and hitting it with the bullhorn. I mean, that is how we got the message out. And then, of course, suddenly there were platforms that allowed us to share videos instantaneously, and that revolutionized everything. But I mean, I take it back even beforehand. When I was on radio, I was on GCN, I was on RBN, I was on WTPRN, and we were doing everything that we could to get the message out. And the thing is Alex, the message never dies. They can try to take your building, they can try to take your cameras, they can try to take your lights and your computers, but it's never going to kill the message. And I know you have a lifeboat that's ready to set sail, and I know that you've got 1 million soldiers, more than 1 million. You got tens of millions of people behind you. And I'm one of those people, and I'm proud to say that. And looking forward to what's about to happen. We've got, there we are. That was at the hotel. We were sipping on some really nice tequila. That was a great night. And we went and had some steaks afterwards. That was when, when I came down to Texas and I did that little tour. And then well, you'll have to watch the rest. But that was a great night with Alex. But the big news today is that The Onion buys Alex Jones' Infowars with plans to make it a cosmic joke. But the top lawyer, Viva Frey, says it was never about monetary compensation to begin with. This is to shut down Infowars and silence Alex. Listen to what he has to say.
So I don't know what's going on in the weeds of the auction process. I know that Roger Stone was talking about putting together a coalition to buy the assets of Infowars. They're going to say for other good and valuable consideration, which meant that we didn't accept the highest bid. This is not like a very complicated process here. This is a maximum value for the best interests, allegedly, of the plaintiffs or those who are judgment creditors. What's clear from this, and it's been clear from the beginning, the goal was never to maximize any execution of a judgment for and on behalf of the judgment creditors. It was to shut you down and shut you up. And what's clear is that the lawyers in this file and whatever political interests that started this are not interested in compensating the plaintiffs for any actual damages that they might have suffered, but rather simply in shutting you down. There is, as far as I'm concerned, an objective breach of fiduciary obligations of the trustee towards, and the lawyers, towards their clients. Because what they've done is, from what I know of what settlement discussions were floating around, what they are doing right now is going to yield them, if anything, pennies on the dollar for what settlement offer was on the table, which would have been to the benefit of the judgment creditors, that being the plaintiffs who, they lawfared their way into a ridiculous judgment, but we're not at that stage anymore. What this is right now is nothing shy of just shutting you up and shutting you down. And if The Onion is in fact the entity taking over Infowars, an attempt to just erase the history of Infowars by merging it into what is going to be a future of bad satire through The Onion, so that when people think of Infowars as a brand, they're going to think of bad satire as of The Onion and not what Infowars was, which was radically more accurate news and information than all of the legacy media combined.
Yeah, that's what's really interesting. So The Onion wins the bankruptcy auction to buy Alex Jones. Fox 61 reporting that. Legal bombshell, however. Alex reports that a judge has now blocked the sale of Infowars and slams how the auction was conducted. Here are the details.
We're built as back. So here we are in the Infowars studios on November 14th, 2024. It is 6:19. And I've just been down the road at the Alex Jones Network studios that were built as backups. And this is the facility we've been in for 16 years. Now, I have major breaking news for everyone. The headlines you see everywhere that the Onion bought Infowars today is not true. The judge had an emergency hearing today that we filed for at 8 a.m. this morning. It went on for several hours. He was extremely upset, the federal judge, Chris Lopez, and said, this is not a real auction. You don't claim there's a public auction where people can bid up and have them register for it, and then 2 days before change it and say the bids are secret and we don't have to take the highest one. Then he asked the U.S. trustee that ran this, what was the winning bid? He said, well, I can't tell you. Did you hear what I just said? Not only did they not take the highest bid, they won't even say what was paid, but they said, well, it's Alex Jones's judgment. That's like toilet paper. $1.5 billion fake dollars that doesn't exist? You're gonna get $1 billion out of this piece of paper? So you can't pledge, that's federal law in bankruptcy, a debt towards something, and especially because doubly, they didn't tell the other bidders that they were going to allow credit to be used to buy it. That's what they're calling it. It's credit in the future, pie in the sky on my future earnings. So they bought my company in a rigged fake auction that didn't even happen with my money that doesn't exist. So the judge says he hasn't set the date yet, next Monday or Tuesday. He said early next week, I take that as Monday or Tuesday, to have an evidentiary hearing on this. My lawyers and the real bidders' lawyers, who are very prestigious, said they've never heard of something like this. Walter Sisak, the lawyer for the folks that tried to buy Infowars that were good guys, is recognized as the toughest bankruptcy lawyer in Texas. He's known as the Bulldog. He's a no bullshitter. He said he's never seen anything like this.
So this is all developing right now. So despite the headlines you see like this, the Onion buys Infowars at auction, but Alex claims a higher bid was rejected. Breitbart covering this as well. But as we know, Alex Jones is one of the greatest Americans that have ever lived. I believe that. I mean, he put me on a path to meet Aaron Russo and Ron Paul and join the Ron Paul revolution and start a super PAC and then start this network, start this YouTube channel, have it go on actual television, broadcasting to 12 million people a night with my wife. You know, Alex put me on that path with all the work and the documentaries that he was producing that he gave away for free. He told people to download them and share them. He didn't care. He just wanted the message out there. 5 hours ago, this person says, Matt Powell 7 says, RIP Infowars. They aren't going to ever shut Alex down. Many tyrants have tried to silence ideas like Infowars, but the truth is you can never kill an idea. You can never shut Alex Jones up. He goes out for any reason, and there'll be hundreds of us to take his place. The Health Ranger, Mike Adams, seriously, the deep state tried to bend the laws of physics, space, and time in order to get Alex Jones. They've broken every law, every rule, every iota of reason and rationality to try to silence Alex, praying for Infowars. So Alex is, I mean, he is the subject of lawfare just like we witnessed with Donald Trump. So Aiden Salazar, Brian sent me this link to this X article. Not so fast. Not so fast. Judge halts Infowars sale to Onion due to shady auction procedures. No one should feel comfortable with the results of this auction, says U.S. bankruptcy judge Christopher Lopez over Infowars' purported sale to the Onion. Okay, this came out just an hour ago, so we have some new developments. Wow, more new developments. Let's listen.
It came out that all right, this is the last update. I detailed all this on air today, but I learned even more tonight. It's worse than I thought, but here it is very simply for everybody. There was a auction ordered by the judge, but he wanted to have more hearings about it for the details to make sure it was all legal. The U.S. trustee assigned with the Justice Department that was in charge of it went ahead and had what he said was an auction. But then it came out that he didn't make the auction public, didn't let people have bids to go above the supposed highest bid, which means it's not a real auction. And then it turns out he ignored the highest bid and gave it to a lower bid because they were the Democrats. And so it was a private sale masquerading as an auction that did not happen. That's what the judge said today. He said it did not go through. He's having a full evidentiary hearing next week. In the meantime, the U.S. trustee, overstepping his power, came in and closed Infowars and cut the broadcast off. So it is off the air. We're over at the Alex Jones Network at AJN Live on X and Real Alex Jones and the satellite uplinks, the radio stations, the TV stations. They're having to switch over to our new satellite. There was some problems there because it was just sneak attack. Boom. They have the auction, keep it secret Wednesday. This morning they show up at 8 a.m. and say, shut the building. I go on and, talk about it. Then they go order people to shut things off. I'm just saying, I'm a federal trustee. Do what I say. Like the last federal trustee did in June or late May, saying, shut the building with no court order. I didn't leave. I threatened to call the police. And then they had an emergency hearing thinking I would be kicked out, and the judge fired them. So this is the second federal trustee doing this wild vigilante crap. So the Onion's everywhere announcing they bought it. The media is saying they got it. But Bloomberg and AP are going, well, now the judge said, no, he's questioning it. No, he said it didn't go through, and he's going to decide what to do. And my lawyers are like, well, they've taken this thing off the air. These employees are out on the street. And the judge said, well, as soon as we can have it, it's early next week, I'll give you a date. But yeah, this is crazy. So bring your evidence in. But he said.
So it keeps developing here. The U.S. judge overseeing Alex Jones' bankruptcy expressed skepticism over Thursday's purported sale to satire publication The Onion, according to the Associated Press. We just played these clips here, but this is what Brian sent me as we were developing this story today for you guys. This is what the AP said. Maybe difficult to read. I'll try to zoom in for you. The AP said, but the judge in Jones' bankruptcy case said on Thursday they had concerns about how the auction was conducted and ordered a hearing for next week after complaints by lawyers for Jones and a company affiliated with Jones that put in a $3.5 million bid. Did you hear that? A company affiliated with Jones put in a $3.5 million bid. Now, when the word started getting out that they were going to shut down Infowars, I contacted Roger Stone. I said, Roger, we can't let this happen. Roger, you got to know some billionaires. Can you put together a team? And he said, I am working on it. So, a company affiliated with Jones. I mean, think about that. That means the company comes in that's affiliated with Jones, buys Infowars, and just hires Jones to do the job. They can't shut him down. So this is going to be a continuing story. We're going to continue to track it. But if you haven't followed him on X on AJN Live, at AJN Live, that's where you need to go. And you could follow Alex at this lifeboat operation. And they are doing consistent live streaming. Of course, I was on that show earlier today. So many others were as well. And we're going to continue to track this. So the battle for Infowars isn't just about Alex Jones. It's about every independent voice in America. When a judge steps in to question a rushed auction, when higher bids get mysteriously rejected, when rules suddenly change, you have to ask yourself, what are they so afraid of? So while you're watching this fight for freedom unfold, show your support for independent media with our exclusive Next News merch at shop.nextnewsnetwork.com. Let them know which side that you are on in this information war. But here's what we need to know from you in the comments. If the deep state can attempt this kind of takedown of Infowars, who's next? Which independent media voice do you think that they're going to target next? And how do we protect them? Your insights could help us prevent the next attack on free speech. Okay, let's check in with the chat room. there are any super chats, we will get to that immediately. Super chats do have top priority. Okay, F. Joe Biden dropping another 5 spot, and he says, love to see someone being interviewed. Be like, I got a security briefing today. What makes you think you know more than me? You clown. Okay. I'm not sure what narrative you're presenting here, but I see, man. And then I got a message from somebody that I know. I believe he's in the chat room right now. My friend Adam. And I thought I saw him in here. He was asking about tomorrow. So if you're going to be around, if you guys, oh yeah. Okay, let's see. This is a good time to mention. Okay, Adam Butelli, the great Butelli, the magician, he was also canceled from the feeders. You're not to mention the name, but you can ask him what happened and what time am I going tomorrow. What time? I'm not sure. I'll probably, the reservations are between 11:30 and 1:30. So I don't know what time I'm going to be there exactly. I just went ahead and I sent them an email. Okay. 11:30 tomorrow. Awesome. At Foxfire in Geneva. So if you want to come out with me, have a nice lunch, man, they make a mean steak. Oh, I can't wait to have a nice steak tomorrow for lunch. Oh, it's going to be delicious. But I've got a lot of other things going on tomorrow, too. And some family commitments that I have to attend to, and I wouldn't miss for the world. So let's take a look at some of the latest in the feed. Brian, if you bring up the triple box for me, please, and we can take a look at some of the latest news as it's happening. Gerald Celente is, Brian, if you bring up that triple box so everybody can see it. There it is. 13 seconds ago, Powell says economy is remarkably good after Trump blowout win because America thinks the economy sucks. Yep. And I'll just text him back. The American people have spoken. Time for Powell to pack his bags. Gerald Celente. Love that guy. Awesome guy, Gerald Celente. Okay, dramatic footage in Italy. A year's worth of rain fell in 12 hours in Sicily, causing chaos in the streets. This is the scene in Sicily. This is 15 hours ago. Natalie Winters reporting Biden's deputy national security advisor, Ann Neuberger, is trying to burrow in, go from political appointee to civil servant to lead the internal resistance against the incoming Trump administration. Well, thank you, Natalie, for pointing that out, and we will find all of them. We'll expose them all. Alex, here's Alex again. Hoax alert, the Onion did not buy Infowars. There was no auction. Federal judge is investigating. Bill Essayli. For the first time since 1992, Republicans in California picked up a seat in the state legislature during a presidential cycle. There might be a second seat coming, but that race is still too close to call. Wow. That's huge. Michael Schellenberger. I love whatever this guy posts. Another Australian senator has come out against the government's draconian proposal for global censorship. The bill is nearly dead. U.S.-Australian relations hang in the balance. The United States and Australia have had a strong relationship for decades. Why then is Australia Prime Minister attacking our relationship by pursuing mass global censorship? Well, because they're just part of the globalist machine. And even the senator who called for the incarceration of Elon Musk is a no vote. Isn't that interesting? Here we have Mike Benz 10 minutes ago, quote tweeting Matt Gaetz. John Sauer is a beast. John Sauer brings terrific experience and talent to the Trump Vance Department of Justice. As Solicitor General, he will be outstanding asset to our team. It has been a privilege to work with John when he testified before the House Judiciary, and we'll look forward to our continued work together. So Donald Trump now announcing that Dean John Sauer will serve as Solicitor General of the United States in his administration. He's deeply accomplished, masterful appellate attorney, clerk for Justice Antonin Scalia in the U.S. Supreme Court, served as Solicitor General for Missouri for 6 years, has extensive experience. So Matt Gaetz is happy, so is Mike Benz. South Korean opposition leader gets a suspended jail term for violating election law. They're doing some stuff over at the World Health Organization, antimicrobial resistance. What are they planning for next? Insurrection Barbie, an hour ago. Obama made 32 recess appointments, including James Cole and Deputy Attorney General, including 2 appointments when the Senate went home for the holidays. Those appointments were held to be unconstitutional later by the Supreme Court. The media can't stop clutching their pearls, so there is precedent for this. The media is in full panic mode. I love every second of it. Ronald Reagan made 240 recess appointments. George H.W. Bush, 77 recess appointments. Bill Clinton made 139 recess appointments. George W. Bush, 171. Barack Obama made 32. Donald Trump made 0 recess appointments. Well, that's about to change. And Insurrection Barbie follows up by saying Mitch McConnell never went on recess to make sure he couldn't, like the slimy swamp thing that he is. So here's where it gets interesting. Donald Trump says, Mike Johnson, hey, would you, adjourn the House? Okay, I'll adjourn it. The Senate has to agree, but they don't. Trump steps in and says, okay, we're adjourning everybody. The recess appointments move forward. That's the secret weapon. And I'm looking forward to it because I want to see all these people get appointed. We have Portugal this afternoon. What is this? Massive flooding in Portugal. ALX says, be sure to remind outraged Democrats Obama considers stars for his cabinet. President-elect Barack Obama is strongly considering Robert F. Kennedy Jr. to head the Environmental Protection Agency, a cabinet post, Democrat officials told Politico. That was back in 2008. So, even Barack Obama was courting RFK Jr. Well, now we're going to see something very different. He's going to be the head of Health and Human Services. Okay, what's Raskin saying now? This is the absolute triumph and takeover of the Republican Party by MAGA, and it will be the takeover of the U.S. government by MAGA if the Senate lets all these people go through. Raskin is having a meltdown. I love it. Let's listen.
And it will be, this is the absolute triumph and takeover of the Republican Party by MAGA. And it will be the takeover of the U.S. government by MAGA if the Senate lets all of these people go through. This is
cry harder, bitch. Oh. Okay. What else have we got here? Trump taps RFK Jr. to make America healthy again. What is this? This is an interview he did. I hope you guys like this new format because it's basically just, me scrolling my phone. This is how I actually harvest the news. I go through the news. I bookmark the posts I want to discuss with you guys and bring up, sort them all into categories, and then we isolate them and present them. So when I'm sitting here on my phone, I'm just scrolling the phone just like I would do like at my kitchen table. You know, so you guys are just hanging out with me at my kitchen table. Okay. More than 800 Utah homes lost power after a woman climbs on a high voltage transformer. That is not something smart to do. How stupid is that? The predictable and entirely baseless smears against my friend Tulsi Gabbard are despicable. Who is this? Steve Hilton. He's a Fox host, actually. Tulsi's a true patriot and wonderful combination of strength and humanity. She scares the establishment, and that's great. Let's listen to what's being said here.
Her for years. It continues what we're seeing, which is Trump building a strong team to take forward his agenda, true believers who've been with him and support him and actually will implement the policies that he ran on and the American people voted for rather than trying to block them, which is what happened the last time around. We've had a lot of conversation about Marco Rubio. I'll focus then, because his name has been out there for a couple of days, on Tulsi Gabbard. She's a friend of mine. I've known her for years. She's an anti-establishment figure. Remember, she first came on the scene as part of the Bernie Sanders movement on the left, the kind of populist left, if you like. And she's always been in that anti-establishment mode, and that's why I connected with her and got on with her from the beginning. You're going to get a lot of very unpleasant smears against Tulsi Gabbard. You're already seeing it as her name was floated this morning. She's a Russian asset, all this kind of stuff. Disgusting smears. She's a real patriot, and I think she's going to do a fantastic job in this.
I'm looking forward to it. Oh, we got Vivek. What's Vivek saying? Vivek Ramaswamy says Elon Musk will demolish government bloat. He doesn't bring a chisel. He brings a chainsaw.
What Donald Trump was last Tuesday was not the destination. It was the start line for the revival of this country. The cabinet picks this week, you know what? Donald Trump wasn't afraid in putting Tom Homan and Kristi Noem in charge of the mass deportations of millions of illegals for this country. But I also want to thank him for making sure that Elon Musk and I are in a position to start the mass deportations of millions of unelected federal bureaucrats out of the D.C. bureaucracy. That, too, is how we're going to save this country. And I don't know if you've got to know Elon yet, but he doesn't bring a chisel. He brings a chainsaw, and we're going to be taking it to that bureaucracy. It's going to be a lot of fun. But I do want to say this, is that we've been taught to believe over the last 4 years that we have become a nation in decline, that we're at the end of the ancient Roman Empire. All we have is to fight over the scraps of some shrinking pie. I don't think we have to stay that nation in decline. I think with what happened last week, we're back to being a nation in our ascent, a nation whose best days are actually still ahead of us. I couldn't tell you last year that it was morning in America. It's not. It's not yet, but on January 20th, it is going to be morning in America, the start of a new dawn, the start of a country where our kids are going to grow up and we're going to tell them and mean it that you get ahead in the United States again with your own hard work and commitment and dedication, that you're free to speak your mind at every step of the way, that the best person gets the job regardless of their skin color. I think most of us agree on it. The next 4 years, it's just the beginning. It's not the end of the chapter, it's the beginning. And I think the work that's going on here at AFBI sets the course not just for the next 4 years, but for the next 250. And so what I will say is when we send Donald J. Trump back to the White House on January 20th, that is just the beginning of our best days as a nation, still yet ahead of us. Thank you all for supporting the mission here. Thank you all for your love of this country. Do not stop fighting until we get this job done. And 4 years from now, we're going to say not make America great again, but keep making America greater. Thank you all. God bless you and your families. Let's enjoy the celebration, and may our best days be ahead. Thank you. Last Tuesday.
That was awesome. One thing I want to point out to you guys as you're watching this in the chat, Imagination Doctors, I want you guys to scroll into the chat, and I want you to tap his profile picture and open up a new tab, or just remember that name and subscribe to his YouTube channel. He just started it. He's just getting started. He's a friend of mine. You know, he's a wonderful magician. He's entertained for many family parties and large events. For me personally, he's known all over town. does great work, and he's just getting started in the YouTube game, so I'm trying to help him out. So if you guys could help him out too, go and check out his channel and support him, and that would be awesome. And again, if you want to hang out with me at, where is that? If you want to hang out with me tomorrow, I will be at Foxfire in Geneva. Right here, Foxfire in Geneva. Patriots are mobilizing 11:30 to 1:30. And I got the email confirmation that I will be there at 11:30. And I can't wait to have a nice big fat steak. Oh man. I love the ribeye. That's like my cut, man. That is my cut. Do I have Facebook installed on this? You guys want to see something funny? Let's see if I can pull up Facebook. Do I have Facebook on here? I do. Do I not? Where's my... There's Facebook. Let's see. Facebook? Is that going to work? Log in. Oh, come on. Really? I thought I had it on this account. Oh, I want to show you guys something funny. Yeah, Brian, close that. Yeah, let's keep it up here so I can bring up this thing here. Log in. Okay. Thank you, Brian. Log in. Save it. Okay, sure. Okay, where is it? Then it was a notification. Okay. All right. Okay, Brian, you could bring up this. Let's see. What do you do? How do I? I'm in construction. How do I do this? Here. Let's see if it. Here we go.
What do you do?
Huh?
What do you do?
I'm in construction.
Your hands don't feel like you're in construction.
Take my wife, please.
What do you do?
Huh?
What do you do?
I'm in construction.
Your hands don't feel like you're in construction.
Take my wife, please.
Oh man. Angie and I filmed that at Foxfire in Geneva in 2020. It's something we like to do all the time. It's funny. We always play the Goodfellas scene together. That time we actually recorded it and did a thing. And another time it was actually really funny. We were at the Arcada Theater, and Ron Onesti was there, and I was there with my wife and my niece, and we're all dressed up. We're going out. And Brian, you can close this out. You can bring up the Angie says, you're out of control. Yeah, Brian, thank you. So we're at the Arcada, and we're talking to Ron Onesti about the Goodfellas, and how I think what we really wanted to do was do a whole stabilized video scene of us like walking in through the back door of the Arcada Theater, and then have Onesti put down a table and put us right in front of the stage. You know, basically just recreating that Goodfellas scene. And, you know, it didn't happen. Like, we didn't get a chance to film it. But later on, he actually did it for us. Like, we were sitting in the bar, we were talking about it. And then what did he do? The guy literally, like, walked us in, and he literally brought us in with the table and put it down, and then got us drinks. It was the coolest thing ever. Yes, Texas, we are really live. So anyway, we have a lot of fun in our little world here. But you're welcome to join us tomorrow at Foxfire. Check it out. Okay. So there you have it, Patriots. What a night it's been. Just 9 days after Trump's landslide victory over Kamala Harris, we're watching America transform before our eyes. In Fox Valley, Illinois, we saw what happens when patriots stand up to the cancel culture mob. Those business owners didn't just survive the left's attack, they're now thriving. That Democrat alderwoman's secret hit list, it backfired spectacularly. And now, thanks to your support, these conservative businesses are seeing record profits. And that's what happens when Americans unite against tyranny. Meanwhile, the mainstream media empire continues to crumble. MSNBC up for sale, The View desperately seeking pro-Trump voices, AOC quietly ditching her pronouns. It's a total collapse of the propaganda machine. Don Lemon, Joy Reid, Stephen King, they're all running for the exits. Why? Because they know their grip on the narrative is finished. And speaking of finished, the deep state is in absolute panic mode over Trump's cabinet picks. Matt Gaetz as Attorney General, Elon Musk leading government efficiency, RFK Jr. at Health and Human Services. This is not just a changing of the guard, it's a complete demolition of the administrative state. The swamp creatures are running scared, and they should be. Then there's the battle for Infowars, a fight that's far from over. When that judge stepped in and halted the Onion's takeover, it exposed exactly what we have been telling you. They will stop at nothing to silence independent media, but they failed. Alex Jones is still broadcasting, the truth is still spreading, and the resistance is stronger than ever. And none of this would be possible without your support. The super chats, the Rumble rants tonight were incredible. You are the reason we can keep bringing you the stories that they don't want told. If you believe in our mission, please consider donating through the links in the description. Every dollar helps us fight back against the mainstream media lies. And don't forget to visit our new merch shop at shop.nextnewsnetwork.com. Get your exclusive limited edition Next News swag and show the world where you get your real news. Yes, become a MAGA Avenger. You can check it all out. The links are down below. We have a graphic here, but we don't have it now. But my friends, your response has been overwhelming, and I thank you. Now, before we wrap up tonight, I do want to share something personal with you, Patriots. I will not be with you tomorrow night. I have a family commitment that I wouldn't miss for the world. Family first. And that's what we're all fighting for, isn't it? But don't worry. We're looking at either Saturday or Sunday, perhaps for a special show to make up for it. The news doesn't stop, and neither do we. Until then, keep fighting, keep believing, and keep spreading the truth. This is Gary Franchi, and this has been The Raw Feed. Good night, America.